RP taking a nap.
You do know I'm a contrarian,
And with that,
right?
we are back for another week. Flight of Thylea plays Odyssey, the Dragonlords. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is brought to you by Polyhedra.io. My name is David, and these are the wonderful people of the Odyssey of the Dragonlords. More specifically, actually, the Light of Thylea, but you know that is the setting that we're playing in. In any case, we are missing a couple of people this week due to Thanksgiving travel. So if you are tuning in this week, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving week if you're in the US and celebrate such things. With that said, I just want to do actually one quick shout out one more time to the Game Awards. The Game Awards are taking in votes right now. If you go to thegameawards.com, you can vote for whom you think should, or who you think should win, or which game should win. Anyway, English is hard for me. And there's the thing that's popping up. So go to that QR code if you want to, or just go to thegameawards.com, and our vote, my vote, is going, yes, exactly, to girl dinner herself, or boy dinner. We have, of course, Asterion. So please make sure that you vote for Baldur's Gate 3, just in recognition for what an amazing labor of love that game truly was. But that is it for me. Do you guys have anything in the Nerdiverse that you guys want to shout out really quick? I know Spider-Man 2 was good too. I know, but listen.
Yeah. No, Spider-Man 2 is great, but I still voted for BG3 for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And for Neil Newbon for the voice actor.
And he did so well.
Yeah, no, it's... Yeah, he might... Astarion is probably the best NPC in any video game I've ever played, ever. Period.
Now you make me feel bad for not ever taking him on literally anything ever. There are two instances
you
I was just like,
feel bad.
I knew that it was connected to his storyline. Are any of us
surprised?
And I was like, all right,
but you should feel bad.
Nah, it's fine. All right, now I don't feel bad anymore. All right, with that then, let's get back into it for another session of Light of Thylea. To quickly get ourselves settled again, before we even get into the session itself, we find ourselves in a sleepy little Astorian village. I say village because it's just a little outside of Astoria itself. The city that is well known to be the bulwark against the hordes of the steppes, the centaurs and minotaurs that would otherwise overrun, well, much of Astoria, and the very more coastal city of Mitros to the south. There, we hear the squealing of a child, newborn. And as we zoom in on a beautiful little plastered farm building, zoom in even further past the window, past the very ramshackle roof, we see a well-muscled woman. She is currently in the exhausting state that is afterbirth. Blood covers the floor, and a nervous-looking man looks over towards a priest. The priest goes, "Don't worry, she is going to be fine." The man who's holding the child, as another priest goes and cuts the umbilical cord, there's a little bit of a hesitancy for a second as the second priestess kind of cuts the umbilical cord, and she looks down at the blood with a golden sheen. Her worried look looks towards the father, but the father, or the man who's holding the child, we should say, simply looks down with love and adoration. He is finally learning what it means to be a father. Leto, it is our little girl. Leto, it is... She's beautiful, she's perfect. And you see the mother, drenched sweat, kind of pulling her hair to the side a little bit. Let me see her. The more scholarly, more scrawny compared to the mother's body man walks over and gently places the girl in the arms of her mother. Hi. The little babe cried at first, but now her big eyes are open to the world. kind of closing every once in a while. The gunk of birth is still all over this child, this babe. You can see the heartbeat on the top of the skull where it hasn't quite closed yet. Yeah, that's the thing, by the way, for those of you that have never had a newborn, it is a weird thing that doesn't go away for months. Months. And as this mother looks down and gently caresses her child, my little Daphne. She gives the babe a kiss on the forehead. And we follow the two priests as they leave the building. The female priest looks perturbed. And it's not just a perturbed of, oh, I need to immediately do something, but it's almost an annoyance that crosses her face as the priest goes, another good day. Don't you think, Caesarea? Yes, but... Listen, I'm new to this kind of stuff. I usually do the stuff that comes before all of this. We have to do certain things, and this time I was midwifing. Anyway, did you notice the blood? What do you mean? The rotund-looking man, kind of like this deep greenish skin, belying the fact that he has either maybe some elven or potentially even a little bit of nymph blood in him. Looks towards her. A babe was born, and that is all that is truly, well, of consequence. No, but don't you see? The babe's blood, the navel, the cord. It was golden in sheen. The priest kind of stops there and goes, it was, huh? They give each other a knowing look. Another one then, huh? Another one, perhaps. We don't know. It could be Sidons, after all. We all know that the lightning likes to strike 2 or 3 or 4 times as well. Caesarea just gives him a flat look. I don't think so. There's only one god that likes to spread his seed over the entire field that is Thylea. Yes, but maybe we should keep this a bit more quiet. Why should we? I think you should... And he kind of puts a hand on her mouth. She's like, you are here. A priestess of Kyra. To learn. So, let's just say that some stories sometimes don't need to be told. That is one of the teachings that I will teach you this day. Never, and I mean never, silence, shush, or otherwise prevent me from speaking again, or I will get you, fat man. All right, I will never do so again. I have a question. The father comes outside. It is not working. The milk is not coming out yet. Yes, it is normal. Give it some time. Sometimes it takes a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month for it to really come through. The colostrum is going to come through, and the fat man kind of takes the worried father to the side as he asks a million questions of this priest. We follow Caesarea. Beautiful brown hair cascading down her white toga and shoulders as she steps back into the building and kind of rests her shoulder against the doorframe, looking down at the mother and the little babe. We see this mother that, again, her musculature is that of someone who could lift an entire ox by herself. Massive shoulders, white frame, a woman that could move proverbial and maybe even literal mountains. So... was it fun? The woman looks up. Childbirth? No, it was exhausting. Oh, I don't mean that. Fucking a god. The woman gets very, very still. If I had not just lost as much blood as I did, and believe me, I've fought through worse before, I would stand up and I would break your fucking jaw myself. That is my husband's daughter, do you understand? Sure it is. What is that little secret worth it to you? What the fuck do you want? Just Just say it already. Let's just say a favor. Eventually given. Fine. An oath of surprise. Is that what you want? An oath of surprise. That is right. Sworn now. Fine, I swear to you that if one day you come requesting for a favor that I can accomplish, I will do so. I love these. And in exchange, I will not tell your husband that he might not be the sperm donor of your cute little dummy. Who's a cute? This is a cute little dummy. Do not touch my daughter. Ooh. Got a little bite to you still, huh? I don't understand why people have children in the first place. Disgusting. As Casaria starts walking out, you see the hairs on Lita's arms kind of starting to raise as the pact, the oath sworn, comes into effect. We zoom in as the babe starts to pass out in Lita's arms, hiccuping a little bit before finally the screen goes dark. And then we hear clinging of weapons against one another. We hear as there's grunting and the shifting of sand back and forth. And ultimately, we hear Daphne. Daphne, as we zoom up, we zoom out of a massive pit filled with sand. The sand is mostly colored, kind of a beige and yellow, but splotches of it are like this deep red, where people got injured. And then the sand itself sucked up the red of the blood. As we zoom up, we see a much younger version of you, training under her mother's tutelage. How old was Daphne at this point?
Well, if this is her training to be a gladiator and sort of take up the mantle that her mother, or at least take up her mother's legacy, she would be about 15, 16. Awkwardly tall, that lanky teenageness, but keep in mind she goes up to be 6'8", so she's probably already hit 6. The muscles are just barely starting to come in, but gods, just all look awkward.
As your mother steps up towards you, having to already look up slightly towards you. That was sloppy. You let your guard down. You're too busy watching abs again, huh?
No.
Don't pretend like I don't see you. I understand that Marcus is a very attractive man, but can you please focus more on swinging your sword rather than trying to think of swinging other swords? Stop letting your mind wander, child.
Is Marcus right there in front?
Yes, and the very broad-chested, kind of like auburn-haired man is just like, he's just a barrel of a man, right? As he just kind of stands there. This is awkward. Do you have to? She is 13. Could you? No, she knows what she's doing, and you stop pretending and you stop protecting her, okay? I know what I'm doing with my daughter. So, focus, all right? How else are we going to make you one of the best gladiators of all time? What, every single time you step into the ring with someone who happens to have a dick, you're going to lose your focus?
Mom, stop.
All right, again. Pick up your sword.
Picks it up very dramatically. Just that teenage angst.
As Marcus kind of comes over and he's just like, would you allow if she uses the hammer? She has been requesting it. I don't care. She cannot just simply have one preference of weapon. What if she's in the battlefield? She gets a better weapon. She loses her weapon. Whatever it is. She cannot just be locked into one weapon. But, it's okay to have a signature weapon. You did. Okay, we're not talking about me. We're talking about her. This is about her today, all right? Sword you now.
Look at Marcus and try to give a thanks and pick up the sword and nastiest glare at mom. Just the teenage angst of just.
And so we see the two of them kind of going through the routine. Marcus is definitely older, probably like easily 25, 26 years old, but absolutely just, there's like that sweat that is kind of glistening upon him. You can see the chest hairs kind of matted against him. And Daphne, I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, my.
With disadvantage on this one, since it's retroactive and you get some
absolutely.
bonuses.
With disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's something about this Marcus. I mean, he'll be nice every once in a while, but oftentimes he's just kind of a dick. Maybe a little overprotective, just really going into, you should do this or you should do that. And he's maybe a little overbearing, but at the end of the day, there's just something about him. But he's also so old. I mean, ancient, really. 25? My God, what does mom even think about that? And as you're kind of like in the middle of your thoughts, you do keep your cool about you, parrying, blocking, and counterattacking as your mother has taught you, and kind of going through the routines that you're practice this day. As you look past Marcus for a second, kind of letting your body, your muscle memory really take over in that moment, you look past him, and there you see your mother and your father. Normally, it is pretty common, especially as of late, where your mother has retired officially from being a gladiator herself, that, Nikos has been kind of the one to bring in not just the coin, but also cook and provide for you guys. Since you're especially now looking for a sponsor, it is very important to your mother that your training is the prime focus. And so she has been offering lessons in exchange for you being able to practice here in one of the best arenas in all of Thylea. Except normally, you would see your father bring a flower, sometimes a whole bouquet, always some of her favorite pastries, loving her unconditionally. Maybe a little bit of a clingy love. Some people have called him weak, not manly enough, but he never cared. But today, you step in and see your father with an unbridled rage that would even put the god of war, Peter, to shame. Where are you? Leto! You see him step up towards him. He's just like, what is happening? And as he starts to shout, go to make me a perception check.
You're like so good at those.
Suddenly, as
Distracted
you
by
don't
their
really
zabs.
pay attention for a second, jawbreaker's upper swing kind of gets you. As Marcus goes, "Hey, you, me, right now! Stop getting distracted. This is how you get killed in the arena. Come on!" As he puts up the warhammer and just goes through a quick thing. Ping, ping. You hear in the background just like that hushed sound of someone aggressively whispering at another person as they're starting to whisper back and forth. A few minutes later, the bout kind of comes to an end. I would like you to roll me a D100.
Oh boy.
You die in the past.
These rolls. For the stream, that was a 4 for the perception, and that was 6 in a D100.
Yeah. You go through the defensive maneuver, but Marcus is doing something new. He kind of overswings and then kind of like immediately follows that up with a punch, using the warhammer as like this bludgeoning tool to try to put you in a protective posture. You expect another upper swing as you put both hands up, but instead he overswings, hooks the hammer back behind you, wipes you out as you fall down. He kind of upper swings and then just barely stops above your head as he goes, and that is why your mother should let you use the warhammer more swing. There's a certain finality to finishing someone off. As he throws the hammer to the side, puts out his hand, and you can see that there are a couple cuts on his arm as he looks upon them, and gives you a little bit of a look like, well done, to get you up back on your feet.
Yeah, she'll take his hand, but I think her eyes just keep like moving over to the hushed argument.
As you look over, the argument is over. Nico seems to have left, and your mother has clearly stopped paying attention to the bout. Instead, she is sitting on one of the stone benches, her face and her hands kind of downturned.
Should we call it for today or?
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Also, that was a dick move, that new swing.
Hey, it's not. Listen, it is not sweet. It is not new. Listen, it's called the Vulcan sweep. I can teach you some of the dirty tricks. Also, don't forget we always fight in pits. You always have access to sand. Never forget about pocket sand. All right, you can do this. We will practice. We got this.
Okay.
He
Sure.
kind of gives you a little bit of a slap on the shoulder, gives you a little salute, and then walks away.
I think she'll like very, very lightly walk up to Mom, like trying to make as little noise as possible. Just slide on over.
All right. As you sit down, hate to do this, I have to step away for just 1 second.
You're all good.
Okay, this has been bothering me. How old is everyone's character?
Like currently?
Like,
Real time?
yeah,
Like, right-
currently, right now, like in Sidon's tower. How old are we all?
Yanni's not 100% sure, but his best guess is he's around 22.
I want to say the last time I gave an age, it was like in her 20s or 30s.
I was gonna say Daphne's like 28, 29,
Okay.
maybe 30 at this. Actually, no, I think with the. Sorry, I forgot like the 3-year time. So
Right.
she is now actually like 31, 32.
Yeah.
I know we said how old we were when we got, like, time jumped at the Lotus Witch place, but I don't remember how old we said we were.
I'm assuming Darian's in her like mid-20s, but I'm just like doing mental math right now with like, okay, what's the age gap with Marcus, and how old's Daphne right now, and then how long ago was this?
Thanks for the patience.
Darian's
would be
probably
good. Yeah.
more like early 20s because I want to say she was late teens when we busted her out, wasn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, it was 8.
Keep it
when
by
I-
the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Darren
Yeah.
is a baby.
Yeah, I want to say
Oh.
I said Lyra was, like, in her late 20s, because sirens mature as the same rate as humans, but they live 5 times as long as humans. So I'm pretty sure I said she was like 28 or 29. So she'd be 32 now.
As you sit down next to your
Wow.
mother, Daphne, you can see that there's an anger splayed across her face. And angry tears had started rolling down her cheeks. You step up next to her and she just angrily wipes away the tears. I saw that, by the way. You need to be prepared for that kind of stuff. Gladiators use every dirty trick they can come up with.
Okay. Everything all right? Are we? I don't think I've ever seen Dad that mad before.
And as you say his name or invoke your dad, and she just winces a little bit, closes her eyes, and just takes a deep breath in and kind of like a quivering breath out. Daphne, your dad is going to move out for a while.
Why?
There's just some stuff that we need to work out, alright?
Did I?
You did
I
nothing.
mean, is he?
Baby, it's not you, okay? It is not you. You did nothing wrong. You're perfect. Let's talk about it
I don't.
dinner tonight, alright? You run your laps and do your training. I know that you just finished bouting, but we need to build up your muscle mass a bit, okay? And don't forget 3 lobsters today. You need your protein.
That's a hard life.
Fine. Whatever. kind of like Daphne not being able to like kind of understand what's happening just gives her mom a nasty look. Like she's so mad, frustrated her mom's not talking to her, making her do stupid laps after she got beat up by Marcus. It's just she'll run her laps, but not happy about it.
We watch you run the laps, and like in a time lapse, we watch as your calves become thicker, chunky. The quads now watermelon break capacity. We grow Daphne from a strong girl to an exemplar of a gladiatorial woman, still running her laps. The strain of hair kind of bouncing into your head, into your face, and like, oh, shit. As you take the leather wrap out of your hair and retie your hair once again, you see off in the distance your mother speaking with a man up in the stands. This man, of course, is well known, as he resides in Mitress's noble district, and as such could be the ticket that your mother for so long has looked for. Now, you were sponsored every once in a while. You even got to be, one of the juvenile heroes of Castus's court and the like. You got small scholarships here and there, slowly building up some of your reputation. But this man, this Rastos Floros, could be the big ticket. Today, though, you think of other things. Because for the past years, you've kept a silent anniversary in your mind. A day of mourning. A day of revisited silent trauma. The day that your father left. You remember how the conversation went. You confronted your mother, and at first she was very vague. And you could tell that there was something wrong. You probed deeper, and she might be extremely stubborn, but by the gods, if she did not birth one of the most stubborn women that Thylea has ever seen.
Yeah.
And so, in a screaming match, she ultimately revealed that the reason that your father left was because he was not your father. How exactly he found out, he didn't disclose. But your mother, she kept speaking of the fucking priests. She never told you exactly what that meant, but that was also the day that you learned that apparently you have godblood in you, which explained the incident a year earlier, before your father left, where you almost slipped from a roof tile of the gladiatorial pits, falling to your death, but instead, magical wings propelled you forward, softened the blow. You still broke your left arm, but nothing that magic cannot take care of. Especially, as it turned out, your own magic. Many thought that you were simply blessed, gifted. Maybe there was sorceress blood running through your veins. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. This one with advantage, as you had some years to try to dig deeper.
Oh boy. This +0. It's all in the advantage. I don't think it actually rolled with advantage. Let me do that again.
What? Oh, yeah.
I'll take a 16 over a 7.
16 is good. 16 is good. You asked around, and, Nikos, he was never a big shot at the academy, but he did well enough. He is very, very much into the writings of some scholar that looked into the Geigans and started his research into those things. And so when you asked around, you learned that your father had left the academy, that he wanted nothing more to do with Mitros and had taken some assignment far away. You asked around further, and as it turned out, some of the scholars recognized his name, and then your name, and you could see almost the recognition in their faces.
Oh, so you're the
You're Daphne, huh? Oh. Child, I must apologize to you, it turns out. I may have contributed to your family's tragedy, as it turns out. Inadvertently. I did not do so on purpose. Please don't hurt me. You look very strong.
What do you... what do you mean?
Well, you see, the satyr kind of like pulls this long beard and like plays around with it. It's clearly like a nervous habit. There's like a chunk on the right side missing, where it's just like clearly the stronger hand kind of pulls out some air. Well, you see, your father, he was very concerned about your ability. He was excited, in fact. The fact that you had sorceress origin, and he wanted to learn how to, well, foster that, the best for you. So he wanted to have the best information possible, and so he asked me, and I am one of the foremost experts on sorceress origins and how best to foster such sorceress children, because they often can be a danger to themselves and their families, and he was worried that you would hurt yourself, and, well, he described your capabilities to me. And then I went to your arena. It's a smelly place, by the way. Why does the scent smell like sweat all the time? Anyway, and, well, I asked around about your capabilities, and I've watched you a couple times, and it became clear to me that, well, you are what is known as a demigod. Congratulations, it is quite a... Well, for most people it is quite... For most gods it's quite rare to have a child. And that is exactly the problem, perhaps. Narrowing it down, since Nikos could not be the father, we know you have a mother. Well, Vulcan. Well, let's just say that he has never really shown an interest in marrying anyone, or even fooling around, and, well, that really left a couple other options. The powers that you exhibited weren't quite of the, kind of points up towards the slightly rainy sky this day. And so that only left the most, well, let's just say, least virtuous option amongst the Pantheon. I'm sorry, I'm not very... You are a child of Peter. The god of war is your father. He inseminated your mother, and you're the product of said engagement.
Is that how you told my father? Because I
did, and you know, now that you mention it, I hear it. I could have done that a little bit more tactfully.
Did he leave a note? Or anything about, like, where he...
He could have found the information himself eventually, Daphne, your father. Nikos is a very smart man. He did the smart thing and asked someone who knows more first, and I did the thing for them, the research, the finding out faster than he could have on his own, but he would have figured it out eventually. Your mother's secret, that she slept with Peter, oh God, I mean, it would have come out. You know?
I know, I'm just... Did he say anything? Did he leave any note behind where he was... If he's coming back? If
no,
I could write him?
No. I think your father was very clear when he spoke to Archimedes. He is seeking the furthest assignment from Mitros he possibly can. I don't think... Listen, he is going to be far away. Looking at things to do with Eresians, the former ruler, the first man, Carpathos or something, and just... Listen. I'm sorry that this all happened. I'm sorry for my part in it. But I am a seeker of truth. And as a veracity sophist, I do believe that this was the best path forward. secrets do not further scientific understanding of our world, and they simply perpetuate. Please don't look at me like that. I'm sorry.
You didn't think about my mom. You didn't think about me. You just.
I was asked a scientific question, and I answered it scientifically. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. If I could change it, I probably wouldn't. But listen,
yeah,
you can. No, please don't cry. Oh, God,
it's whatever. Okay,
like
thanks for nothing. Bye. Still, the teenager just slams the doors like hard as she can. Might break it, but.
And in fact, as you kind of rub this leather strap between your hands, you know that this was one of the leather straps, a collection that your father had. It was a thing that he did where he built his own leather journals, and he would kind of wrap that around and then use that to tie the journals shut. This one is so well worn and just so blackened in the spots where you just rub it for good luck or his memory. You just have it there in your hand. You kind of snap out of it, tie your hair back together, and finish the lap that you were running. You see that your mother and this rich man, this Floros, have descended down from the stands. The man, as he steps forward, a beautiful, long golden curls kind of cascading down on his sides. You can see some just tips of ears indicating his elven heritage. He's like, oh, so this is the one. The daughter of one of the greatest of gladiators of all time. Yes, she is my daughter, and she is going to be greater than I have ever been. Daphne, what would you say your face looked like in that moment?
I think like she goes from just this melancholy kind of look, to trying to like put on her best winning smiling face of, she needs to put on a show. She needs to perform. So it might be a little fake, but she's got that smile down pat at this point.
And as you kind of give a fake smile, he starts asking you questions. You go through the motions. You've been here so many times before. You guys have practiced. You know how to do it. And in fact, you kind of start falling into this rhythm, this discipline of having to answer these questions. It almost feels like parrying blows. And you're used to it now as you kind of go through the performative part of that. And your eye kind of wanders every once in a while. And you see that up in the stands where your mother and this man were sitting, there is now a different man. He's kind of leans to the side. You see his open kind of like it's almost like a sailor shirt is kind of like pushed to the side, revealing a built physique, but it's not like yours. It is not bulky. It is lean and cut. And you can see that these golden curls are kind of messy, cascading down. You can see that he's wearing a pair of spectacles, and in his left arm is just a board with a large parchment upon it, and you can see as his fingers are blackened from it, he kind of is drawing something, kind of changing something. He's like, oh. And as he kind of like realizes he just got charcoal on his face, he just kind of rolls his eyes on himself as he takes his spectacles off and starts to wipe it off, and that is when your eyes meet. And you can see, even from the 20-30 feet that you're away, just like these piercing green eyes. But I believe my daughter is very understanding of that situation. Isn't that right, Daphne?
I think like Daphne's starting to gesture at the boy of like where he's missed a spot on his face. And then really... Yes, of course, mother.
Good. And you see the rich man turn around. And now you see why I seek to invest in gladiatorial combat. You see, at home, my son has taken a bit more after the feminine arts. Not to worry, he is quite good at them as well, but I always do like to see, well, it is ironic that I call it the feminine arts when, and he kind of points towards you, looks over towards your mother. Well, maybe that is a bit beside the point. I am excited for you then to move into the estate. And Daphne, that's when you kind of start to realize, oh shit, it's happening. He agreed, moving into the estate. Their official sponsors. You guys will never have to... Oh shit. It's done. One of the richest men in Mitros just sponsored you, your future, your gladiatorial combat. And you can see it. Your mother is very good at her poker face. Keeps it contained. But you can see the gleam in her eyes. As there's a little tear that kind of forms at the corner of her eye, she looks at you and you see nothing but pride.
Absolutely happy to see this moment. See her mom actually proud. Like, yes, I did it.
Some months later, you're in the estate, and you are given 3 weapons masters that train you. Different kinds of weaponry. And all of them, now that you know what you are taken, smitten by your ability to wield a weapon, not just as one might a tool, but truly as one might wield a brush. It appears as if the weapon just becomes an extension of you, as if you can just use your internal personal force of personality to wield the weapon as you want it, as an extension of your own body. And to them, it is a piece of art. But those are just words. The thing that struck you was one day, after practice, a lazily closed sketchbook set upon one of the stone benches. Vitalis had a conversation with his father off to the side. As Vitalis, you could overhear the conversation just barely. It's like, listen, I don't care, all right? Can we just hire someone to do this stuff? I have other things. And they're kind of going back and forth some 20 feet away from you. And you, maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of boredom, maybe because you had 5 minutes to use in between your weapon master training, picked up the sketchbook. And you saw image after sketch of you. You could see these studies of your face, of you leaning over, wiping over your sweat, tying your sandals, of your muscles bulging and glistening as they blocked an attack, sketch after sketch. And that one is a nude. Oh god. As you kind of slammed the shut and kind of set it over, it's like, oh god. All right. And as you're just like, kind of like...
Wait, is it a nude of me or him? Or... Can we take that out of the book?
You take it out of the book and just kind of like put it away as you just like fold it up, and as you kind of just like bead red now, kind of like walking away from the thing, like pretending like you don't know what weapons are. In fact, it kind of is like that as you kind of like put half the armory over kind of like the weapons, like, and you're like, ah, shit. And then you hear a voice from behind you. So you didn't like it?
I mean, I wasn't aware somebody was watching.
You mean you haven't seen me? I have been at almost every one of your practices. I make a point not to miss them.
I like hold up like the slightly crumpled nude.
And you see him kind of
one?
wince at the paper being crumpled like that. If it's not too forward of me, because you have destroyed something that's very dear to me, and I must apologize. I hope it's not... Oh, maybe. Would you sit for me?
No more of these.
He kind of just gives you a long look. Are you sure?
Beet red, looking down like... I mean without permission? Let me know?
I swear to you, I will never draw you naked again without your permission. But I cannot speak for what the mind draws by itself.
Completely red, probably trips over the stand that she knocked over.
Do you...
No,
and he kind of steps over and he holds out a
good.
hand. If you would.
Okay. Where did you she'll take his hand. Where did you learn to draw? Like, I mean, your dad talked, I think, about
feminine arts. It is
What?
It is
what
so
is up with that?
restrictive. It is so. I hate that he thinks in those terms. That something is male, something is female. Listen, I don't care what the 5 represent and what. Listen, I grew up in this marbled cage. I had the best tutors money could buy. I had the best lessons. I went to everything. And you know what? He tried to have me. You know, Zaros, the sword master? Yeah, trained me to. Yes, I know how to swing a sword. But, listen. The thing that I found the most interesting was watching people. Do you realize how difficult it is to draw a hand? Trust me, I've mastered the overhand swing. I've mastered the counter block within a week's time. A hand? That took me years to perfect. Look. And he kind of like drags you over and it's like kind of flips through the pages and it's just like, you. And it's just like, it's your face 80% of the time. And then finally he stops and it's just like, listen. And you can see your muscled hand in such almost picture perfect detail holding that hammer. And it's just a mixture of art and beauty and strength and power all encapsulated in charcoal. That was actually what got me. I studied you. And normally I'm a man of interests that move along, but you, Daphne, you captured my eye and you held it in that titanic grip of yours. My heart, it was captured in a cage. Except I did not want to escape this one.
If I'm being honest, I've noticed you. Pulls up the drawing again, minus this one.
That one I drew in my own chambers.
Oh. Well, looks at it again. Yeah, you got a few things.
I had to use my imagination. But when it comes to you, I do that a lot. So, you say you have noticed me, too?
I mean, I remember first meeting your dad and you up in the stands, charcoal all over your face, kind of checks to see if he's got more of that.
And he
on
absolutely
him.
does, like, kind of like right on the lower left cheek there.
Yeah, she'll like reach over and like get that sponge.
And as you get it, he kind of like gently puts his hand on yours when he looks at you and he says, "So, you like me?"
Yeah.
And he kind of like lowers your hand
like...
into his other hand and holds it there.
Mm.
And have you chosen a different partner yet? Is there someone that is dear to you?
No. I mean, the gladiators, I mean, they all... When you're in the training pits, I'm rambling. No.
You do. I like it. So if you like me, and there is no one else that has caught your eye, then Daphne, why haven't you kissed me yet?
Because we haven't been on a date. Again, be red.
He nods as he kind of drops your hand gently, walks over to a little satchel beside the stone bench that he has, and he reaches in, and you can see that he had kind of hidden away a bouquet of flowers. As he pulls them out, some of them are bent, some of them are kind of snapped over, and he's like, "Rats." Kind of pulls those out and kind of like pushes them into the thing, and then walks over with a slightly sadder looking bouquet than it was probably intended. For the past month, every day, I have bought a bouquet of your favorite flowers. And he hands them over towards you, hoping for the day when I would finally muster up the courage that you have when you step into that ring to face down men and women, minotaurs and Gigans. I can't say I will ever be as brave as you, but I know I will always adore and worship you. As he lets go of the bouquet. So, would you do me the honor of asking you out on a date?
Yeah, trying not to answer too fast. Yes, that would. I love that.
Maybe as an appetizer. And he kind of grabs that hand that he held in his hand, kisses softly the back of it. And we switch away from that scene. Thanks. More time has passed, and well, it came to your attention, it came to Floris's attention that his son had been getting friendly with, you're not part of the help, you're not whatever, you're not staff per se, but you're certainly paid to make the household money through your combat. And so it is a small amount of a scandal that his son, the heir of a small fortune in Mitros, is potentially commingling with a daughter of a gladiator who is washed up in her own right, but your name, your own, celebrity is now starting to shine through, and somehow, for some reason, he relented. That you two can date, but on the promise there would eventually be a betrothal. Now, your mother absolutely hated it, was against it, said, absolutely not, and if you make them swear an oath, I will break your neck myself. Do you understand? Enough. Listen, I'm just trying to facilitate the love that the two have. I just also want to secure the interests of my estate. I don't give a... All right. All right. Kind of looks towards you, the two of you guys just hand in hand, kind of like have been just looking at each other, ogling each other. After the first date was chef's kiss. It ended, yeah. And as you two kind of look at each other now, sometime later, you see your mother looking towards you. Do you love him?
Kind of like that deep breath again. Yeah, Mom. I've given it a lot of thought. I know you're worried, but he's so nice, and
they always are when they want something.
Oh.
And you, pencil boy, kind of walks over and kind of pushes him in the chest. Yes. What exactly is it that you want? Your daughter?
Grayson.
If you hurt her feelings, I don't think you'll ever be able to hurt her, but if you hurt her feelings, I will break each one of your fingers on the hand that you use to make your little drawings. I will understand. Oh, enough! Do not threaten my son in this way. I just want to make it clear, I am still a mother, and that comes first, before our agreement, before anything else. She has a bright future, and I do not want it derailed, because your son wants to get laid. Oh, this is outrageous. This is not... My son, if anything, is marrying down, as with that, Matthias kind of steps forward, is like, Father, what are you... Have you seen her? She is a goddess in her own right, and look at her. I am lucky that she would even look at someone like me. Lest give me time to be in her presence. Please, Father, let this happen. I promise you I will not hurt your daughter's feelings, and I'm sure if I did, I would walk away limping. So, I think she can take care of herself, don't you think? After all, she was trained by one of the best gladiators of all time. You see, your mother has like a little bit of a crooked smile on the side as she goes, You certainly are a charmer. She gives you just a hard look, Daphne. She walks over and takes both your hands into hers as she says, I have made many mistakes, my little hammer. I'm just so worried. and I know that I'm holding on too tight. Like the way when you have a longsword, you need to kind of loosen that up.
Ma.
Anyway, that's beside the point. Are you sure this is what you want? Sure. You're so young, you've barely experienced anything. Is this your first boyfriend? Please tell me it's not your first. Everyone just kind of looks at you and like crickets, silence in between.
I mean, yes.
Oh, but Kyra, I trained you wrong. I trained you too hard, and you didn't have enough time to experiment and learn other things, and now you're going to rush into the first thing.
Ma. I know what I'm doing. I'm an adult now. I'm 20. I know what's going on.
I hope so. I disagree, by the way. You do not know what you're doing, and you're going to realize that 10 years from now, we're going to drink wine, and I'm going to tell you every single thing that was wrong, and you're going to say, yes, mama, yes, mama, yes, mama. Just here, Fine, if you want to be stupid, it could be worse ways to be stupid.
Ma. He's the only one I want. He's the only one that's caught my eye. I haven't found anybody else really interesting. I mean, you always told me to avoid the gladiators.
I mean, they really only want one thing. I'm still so surprised. You never tried with Marcos.
No, he was a creep. He was so much older than me.
I mean, but he was good looking. I don't know, maybe there's little kiss here or there. He is a little bit older now, I guess. Still looks
He talked
good,
about you an awful lot.
Ah, that dirty little bear of a man. Anyway, this is about you, this is not about me.
It's fine. He's so sweet. He gets me flowers every day.
I do. Whatever.
He
I used to get flowers every day too. Listen. Fine. I agree to this. I give you my blessing. But you, and she kind of points at the father, me, you are going to pay us a handsome dowry for this. You're going to make sure that my daughter is set up. I want her to be not married down, but rather an equal. So, you're going to buy us a house here in Mitros. We're going to have every amenity that you enjoy at this villa, but we're no longer going to live here because we're no longer your servants or people employed by you. We're now your equals. So, 200,000 gold. He kind of thinks for a second. Kind of looks towards his son. Come on, father. I know you're looking for political marriages, but I could be married too. Just look at her. You are the biggest expenditure of my life, you know that? I do, father. Fine, 200,000 gold. But, and he becomes very stern for a second, I will ensure that this marriage goes through. If it doesn't, I would like you to swear an oath of repayment. So that it goes. When it comes time to that, fine. I swear that we will figure it out. You see the oath kind of starting to take place on her arm once more. And suddenly music fills the halls behind us. Merriment, a party completely in the swing of things. And in fact, we can see that there's a band of 17 satyrs playing every type of lute and lyre, drum and horn that they could find, as you are at a grand gallery opening for Vitalis. He has many a talent, not just drawing, which some of the drawings of you allowed only back pictures to be displayed, but also statues are displayed of some of the finest men and women all throughout the realm. And as you guys are walking through, people come up to you, congratulate you, of course, and on it goes. An evening that is just a lot of small talk. You feel extremely exhausted, and there's something that has been kind of bugging you this entire evening. Where is Vitalis? This is his gallery. He's been letting you do all the small talk for 30 minutes now. Come on, where are you? You stop one of the servants, and they're like, we have not seen the master around. And there's something, you know the servants well. I mean, before you used to drink and you used to, dine with them, and then you became high society, and that changed. And you can tell that this man is being awkward about something. Wonderful evening, though. Well done. Congratulations again on the betrothal. I must be going now.
Devon, is everything okay?
Everything is fine. Go to make me a persuasion check, Daphne.
Okay. So good at those too. She's exhausted. That's an 8. It's been a long day.
I'm just exhausted. It's been a long day. Excuse me. And he just starts walking away from you. And you kind of clock the direction that he walked from very quickly, kind of upset, perturbed looking. You can see a door is kind of open to the back workshops where Vitalis does a lot of the sketch drawing and then transferring onto oil painting sometimes, or like the actual statue chiseling.
Guess we're gonna go and check that out.
As you kind of walk, you feel your muscles are kind of sore from practice today. As you kind of roll your shoulders, you kind of like start to go towards the wooden door. And you suddenly hear the sound of skin clapping against skin. You hear the throes of someone in the middle of ecstasy, whether real or simulated. You certainly have heard the sounds on Stygian Row. The female voice growing louder and then suddenly becoming muffled as a voice very similar or very familiar to yours says, "Please, you have to be quiet or else we get found out."
I'll be opening that door and finding out.
The door slams open. And upon a table with paintings and sketches of you arrayed all around, you see a woman with beautiful dark skin, completely naked, drenched in sweat. Vitalis kind of leaned over her, holding her as both of them wide-eyed just look at you. It is not. It's not what it looks like. This is just. We came in for drawing, and she needed some help with. And he kind of like takes one of the things that he drapes over the statues and kind of starts wrapping it around himself. And she kind of just like, oh God, I'm gonna die. As she kind of rolls away and kind of like starts to kind of like look for an exit out of the workshop, and then kind of. You see her sinking feeling as she kind of takes some cloth and kind of wraps herself up, realizing that this is the only door in and out of this room.
Daphne's gonna close the door.
Trigger warning, this is gonna be violent.
I imagine clothes are just kind of thrown everywhere, so she'll try to find the feminine
Oh yeah, there's
gowns.
one like that's straight over one of your arms as you're holding a hammer and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, pick up the feminine gowns and toss it to the girl.
Please don't kill me. He was here. He had been pursuing me. He brought me flowers every day. All right, please, I'm sorry. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't.
Get dressed. Shut up.
Okay. And she kind of pathetically kind of gets dressed over there.
Flowers every day. Where's her sketchbook?
What? No, she doesn't have it. What are you... My love, you're just understanding the story. There's no flowers every day. Come on, please. And she kind of like... You see the girl kind of go over and then put a sketchbook on the table next to you. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. He told me that he loved me truly, and you were supposed to marry him, and it was all arranged. I'm sorry I didn't. I'm sorry. Can I go, please?
She's gonna, like, look down at her, because I imagine most women are shorter than her. Next time a man tells you anything, you double check he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Use your fucking brain.
I deserve that.
She'll step away from the door just to let her, like, kind of awkwardly, like, she's still gonna have to push past Daphne, but...
Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, you are so large. I thought that the statues were over-exaggerated. And then gets out of the door.
Weird thing to say.
My love. Okay, I must admit, you have just been so busy lately preparing for the great games, and I needed another muse. Listen, you have been my muse for so long, and I've done you so much, and I just needed a little variety. You are the feast that one eats every single day. Every once in a while, you need a little euro from the streets, just so that you appreciate the feast again. This is you're that amazing. You are a feast. You are so much to hold in.
I did all of this. I've been training for the great games so then I could retire and we could fly. We are so close.
You could have retired now. I'm rich. You
We
didn't have to do
picked
anything of this.
so
We've
many-
talked about this multiple times. Why are you still so obsessed in becoming a gladiator? You could just be my wife, and that is enough. You could just be my wife, and that is enough. Why was that not enough for you, huh?
Apparently wasn't enough for you.
It wasn't. You weren't there. This is really, if you really think about it, if you really look at the facts, this is clearly your fault. I think the sophists, anyone at the academy would probably agree with that logic. I think so too. If you had just not abandoned me, then I wouldn't have had to look so
Abandoned.
Of course.
How many hours did I sit in that damned chair for you?
Not
How many
enough.
times did you call the healers to heal my bruises so then you could draw perfection?
That was for your own good. I mean, why are you complaining about something that was good for you? What was I supposed to do? Just draw you all bruised up like a rotten apple that had been laying about the basket too long?
I don't know what to do now. There's people in there asking for you, congratulating us.
And they will get me, and they will get us.
No,
Listen,
no.
My father
no.
has done this multiple times.
This
My
can't.
father has gone through that too. We'll just make it an agreement.
No.
Whatever. If you want to have one of those gladiators, what was the what did your
I
mother
don't
say? Listen,
want
Marcus,
anybody
listen, I'll
else.
hire him for a day. You can have him whatever position you want.
This isn't some kind of free I don't want anybody else. I'm engaged to you.
You want the great games more than me. You want fame and power. You want to live your mother's life. You want to do everything that she couldn't do. This is what this is about.
You do
right?
not
That's
talk
what-
about my mother.
But that's what this is all about, right? She is turning you into a mini copy of herself, a clone, trying to live her life vicariously through you. The control she has over you, every step of the way. That's the only reason you want to be part of the great games. Or is it to impress your daddy? This is what this is about, isn't it? You just have daddy issues.
She's gonna grab the sketchbook. This is off. She's gonna go
What
to
are
the
you talking
doors
about? This is
to.
No,
Us.
we're just having
This
a
is-
fight. Calm down. Just stop overreacting.
Your charms aren't going to work anymore. Shut up.
Fine, then maybe my logic. We had made an agreement. Your mother has been spending plenty of the coin. You're not going anywhere.
I think this will be proof enough.
Of what? That I draw other women? Oh, that I'm the first nobleman who has had appetites that were not satisfied by his wife? Oh, what a shocker. I
This was a
cannot
part of
look
the
directly
agreement.
at Elena.
I love Elena so much.
I love it.
This wasn't part of the agreement.
It wasn't not part of the agreement.
Ugh.
Come on, let's just settle down. Let's think about this more. I love you. I love you. Yes, I needed a release and you were not available and I didn't want to bug you, so now I just go hunt every once in a while on the side. It will be fun. You will always be my one and only, my goddess. I will always worship you. Just let me explore other temples every once in a while.
Mom was right. Oh, Mom was right. Mom was right. I shouldn't have just gone.
Mom is right there. Fine then. This is what you want? Just because of a little... I don't really even remember her name. Bella or something.
You don't...
Because
You
she
really
doesn't
did just
matter
pick
to me
somebody.
like you do. I fell in love with you. She was just meat. You are everything. You are my true muse. You will never not be my muse. I will always love you, always worship you. Please. Alright, I don't like being caught. I don't like being wrong, so yes, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have sampled other wares. This will be the last time then. If that's what you want, it will never happen again, I promise.
It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
We all make
I
mistakes.
didn't think something...
It will never happen again. Oh God, what else
That
can I do?
sounded
Huh?
more than one mistake.
Okay, fine, we did it a few times, but like, that's beside the point, is it? You really want to throw all of this away? Our future together, riches for your mom, a better life for you, a way to actually retire. You can retire now. You just have to forgive. You just have to stop being so petty. Come on. It's just sex.
And what if she ends up pregnant? What are
Oh,
you
no,
gonna
we take
do,
care
huh?
of that. We pay the priest extra for that.
The priest.
Of course.
How many people know?
I mean, there is the guard, of course, and the priest has to know about it. My father caught us before, so he does know about it. But that's it. And you now. Sorry, my father told me I shouldn't do this. He almost had her sent away to the Island of Exiles, which is a little extreme if you ask me. It's not her fault. It's nobody's fault, it's just something that happened, you know.
No, I do see one problem.
Yeah, it is in our relationship.
You.
We did not spend enough... Me? How
Yeah.
am I the problem? I am the
Oh,
victim
please.
here. I was
Oh
left
my-
alone.
Pathetic.
Pathetic?
Yes.
Excuse me. I am not pathetic. I've heard enough of that from my father, and I am a man, and I know what I want, and I am good at what I do. I do not accept this kind of language. This is... You know what? This is getting out of hand. Here, why don't you... Sure, you want to call this? Sure. Here is the thing, and he kind of like turns you towards the door a little bit. And suddenly, you feel magic kind of wash over you. My love, you can forgive me, can't you? And you feel as the spell takes a hold on you. Of course you can forgive him. It was just a sidestep. Just a small mistake. I mean, he just said she doesn't mean anything.
Honestly.
It was just sex. Like, this is true love. You guys have true love. Even the king has concubines. This is just normal in Mitros. This is just how they do.
And he's right. I should have taken more time, not focused as much on the great games. It has been a while, so
It
it's...
has been. You remember when we used to do it every day? What is it now? Once a month? A man has needs.
You're right. We'll work this out. I really, really want this to stop. I mean, if you...
Of course, I promise you, my love. She's all done. She will never get in here. I will tell the guards that she
Nobody
will be turned
else.
away. Nobody else. Only you from now on.
Okay. Promise.
I promise. I love you.
Love you.
See, that wasn't so hard. And he takes your chin. He kind of does that little... Like, it had become like a normal thing that you guys would just kind of smear the spot where you first smeared his chin. And so you guys walk back into the room. It's weird, the sensation of like going from unbridled rage and just hurt and pain to just this hollow feeling of it'll be okay, hopefulness. And as you walk around and you guys make happy faces and you smile at each other and you smile at everyone else and kind of talk about things and all the money that people are spending on the statues of you, and people are starting to bet on you and how you will do in the great games, and really it kind of comes to you like, oh my god, these guys are going to make a lot of money out of your appearance at the great games. This will be good. This will be pretty great.
Good for everyone. Absolutely.
And maybe an hour later, Vitalis had kind of stepped over, and this is also when the music really started getting loud. People started almost like kind of congregating, getting a little bit more drunk. There's almost like a little bit of like a swaying happening. It's the high society wants to dance, but not in perfectly arranged situations, right? And you see Vitalis kind of like, oh, excuse me, I need to, no, please, can I please? And he's kind of being held back as people kind of like, no, I need to ask you, this is fantastic, kind of holding them there. And you kind of look at him and smile as you're a little ways away, and you can see the concern on his face. Why is Vitalis so concerned? Why is he? And the spell ends. As it washes off of you, you know what he did. And then what he did after that. And it comes back as if the entire ocean was just allowed to wash into a massive basin and crushes everything underneath. Daphne, what's going on in your heart, in your head as that happens?
Devastated, crushed, betrayal on multiple levels at this point. She feels disgusting too, emotions being played like that, her being played like that. And she understands why he's panicking now.
Please let
I think she takes that moment to like smile and...
Daphne, please. we excuse me, I really need to go. Thank you.
She's just gonna like find one of the people that's like been talking to her on and on, like droning this whole time, and actually, that sounds like such a fantastic deal.
Red wine is just so much better. Chill white wine, red wine, it gives you the kind of buzz that you have to have at the end of a long marriage, you know what I mean? Otherwise, how else are you going to make it through it, you know?
You might actually want to tell my soon-to-be husband about this. Let him know,
Oh, yes.
I'll get his advice.
The prodigy.
And, like, just shove him to each other.
Gets kind of pushed. Excuse me. Daphne, please. That's... Hi, and you see him starting to cast the spell again.
I need to go out and get some air. And she'll call the name of, like, one of the guy that's been droning on of, like, really, though, Vitalis, you should hear all about the wine that he's been talking about. Amazing!
And
I had no idea.
The spell kind of tries to take a hold of you. You feel it pulse in, and suddenly your veins turn gold. Your eyes shine out, and your wings shoot out. As everyone in the area just goes, and people like gasp, stepping away, and just kind of looking at you, kind of shining. And they're like, "Oh, bravo! This is amazing! Oh, is this part of the show? Very good, Vitalis! Amazing work! How did you do this?" And he's just like, "No, this is all her. She is fantastic. You understand why she's my muse now, right?" And you can see there's just like sweat dripping down his temples.
She's putting on like a big smile, like putting on the show. but definitely needs a distraction for him so she can get back to the studio, because she's got a fucking plan now.
The wings kind of go back in, and people just keep clapping, and they stop, like they go towards you, and they go, as you kind of like, no, it was his idea, and you kind of push him towards Vitalis, and he's just like, no, please, Daphne, we need to, no, please, and he's kind of almost like getting thronged back as people are like, this is amazing, we understand the muse now. She's like, what is the opposite of a fury? A reverse fury? Oh, this is amazing. As you start stepping towards where in the place are you going?
I think the sketchbook got left behind, the evidence. So she is gonna grab that, and she's gonna have a plan moving forward. Maybe pass the book around, show people what he's done. There's so much. The blood is rushing at this point to her head. She's so mad and hurt. She's not sure what exactly she wants to do, but she knows she's got to hit him where it hurts, and that's going to be his art.
And so the book gets passed around. And it's like Cruel Intentions, if you've ever seen that movie, where people like start handing it around and like pull out things, and it's like, this motherfucker drew himself doing her in there.
I think she honestly doesn't get to passing the book, as she like looks it over and then looks at around the art studio, and she just throws it and probably knocks over the statue that he'd been working on. And that just feels...
He called it his best work. Every single roundature, every single piece of you perfectly translated. For the first time, he said he had truly captured your spirit. He felt so excited and energetic, especially as of late, and oh boy, does it click to you when you realize why he suddenly felt so energetic lately. And so when the marble comes crashing down and shatters upon the floor, catharsis, white hot and vengeful, pulses through your veins.
This is where to hit him, and she just starts like throwing. She takes like the dry pigment and tosses it around the floor, but that's not enough. That doesn't feel right. She knocks over a table holding like all the vases that are there, starts grabbing at the oils used to mix up the pigments as she just throws it around the room, including the oil for all of his oil lamps, because he tends to stay up late. Damn it! Starts tossing that around, and then like looking at a painting that he did of her forever ago. It feels like something that, well, was made during like their third date. As she just looks at it, she like reaches for the painting on the wall, and her hands begin to spark. And even though she didn't intentionally do it, it just lights up.
Thousands worth of painting implements and marble, paints, etc. begin to burn as you walk away. Servants come rushing, guards come rushing, some of the gallery visitors come rushing towards. And everything just becomes a drone, a blur, a darkness to your mind. As Vitalis just goes, "No, you ruined everything! You stupid bitch! It's all your fault! It's all you!" As people start to see some of the paintings of him sleeping with another woman. It's like, "Oh, Vitalis!" And so it goes on. The last scene is of you sitting on a stone bench outside of the villa, smudged, and it's the side. It's like you went from a color run. There's just like colors of all kinds smeared across you, soot and ash. There's a little bit of marble dust upon you as well, and you sit there kind of like broad-legged, kind of like legs spread with your dress kind of just covering in the middle as you kind of like just like heavily rest on there like a gladiator after a match. your mother is speaking with Vitalis' father at the entrance. A cadre of 12 guards arrayed behind him. Vitalis nowhere in sight. Malaka, this is not her fault. She did nothing wrong. She did everything right. And you stand to make a fortune with the great games. You're stupid. I am not. You have attacked my son's reputation. My house. Turns away from her and towards you. You both are going to repay us every single coin. Every piece of gold you have spent since the betrothal, as you were clearly unable to follow through. And Daphne, you see the hair raise on your mother's arms, indicating that the oath is starting to come into effect. You stupid Malaka, you piece of... Fine.
Now hold...
No, Daphne, you are going to stay out of this. I will find a way. You keep doing what you're doing. We will find someone else. Someone who's not a fucking piece of shit like this one. How dare you speak like that to me, woman?
You knew this entire time, and you couldn't even have an ounce of power over your son?
And how did you not know the long nights in the paint shop when nothing else was painted the next day? How did you not notice that suddenly he went from a moping little depressed puppy into the roaring lion that actually painted and chiseled again? You should have known better. Maybe you should have kept his intentions better, you stupid creature. Anyways, I will have you swear the oath now, or present you before the king and queen, so that you may sit out the remainder of your debt to me. And believe me, I have the word of the ear of the king. You will never find work again, that is to be sure. And you are already written out of the great game, so don't even get any ideas. I have paid them that you will not be able to compete, you stupid little creature. So, swear it. And your mother begins to speak the words.
I swear.
As both of them look at you, your mother is just open, wide eyes, like, no, don't you dare! What do you swear?
I swear to repay everything I owe.
I accept. The oath kicks over your arm. As she goes, no! Why did you? No! And she kind of drops to her knees and like holds your face in her hands. No, it's not. No, it's not okay. You swore an oath. Child, you swore an oath. It is the worst thing that this world has spawned. This oath that binds you, that punish you. Please.
You could have handled this better.
No, you couldn't.
You've already
what you
done
did was
a
right.
lot.
Everything you did was right. He deserved worse. Why didn't you not break his stupid jaw?
It wasn't worth it.
Indeed. I can agree. This entire arrangement was not worth it.
Oh, piss off. I've sworn the oath. You'll get your money.
You bet.
Now, don't you have some public relations that you need to fix? Or, I don't know, maybe high society enjoyed seeing how small your son is. I'm certain you've got a lot of grandchildren to look out for now in the next couple months.
No. I will not hear your slander any longer. Be gone from my territories. And you see the guards starting to kind of step up towards you guys. And you see, I mean, the guards have sometimes trained with you. None of them are as good as you, nor as big as you. As they kind of give you like a respectful, like a little bit of a distance, like they're definitely doing what the person that pays them is telling them to do, but they're also kind of like, you can see it on the face, like, please don't make us fight you, please.
You all knew.
And you see the guards all kind of look down. Do not feel what guilt. We took this creature, this runt, in and introduced her to high society. Of course, she doesn't understand the games that we play. She's not educated. I'll give you 5 minutes to leave. And he starts walking away.
She'll pick her mom up and run. I don't want to be here much longer. And I smell awful. I really need to...
You too.
Ma. Come on.
Alright.
This will be fine.
And you guys walked away. And indeed, your mother's name had been ruined. Your name had been struck from every major gladiatorial arena that was worth competing in, earning gold in. But ultimately, with the knowledge that you were Rotus's daughter, you made your way back to Astoria, where your mother had left behind a small vintage, as she began the trade once more, growing grapes and vines. You asked Peter for help. You remember the day as the drunken man didn't even recognize who you were? And at first gave you the twice over that you now recognize Vitalis to have given many another woman. You always thought it was just the artistic eye trying to take in the form of other women, but now you recognize it to just be the male gaze.
Yep.
As
That's
he
gross.
was in a haze, and you tried to explain your plight to not seek money. You didn't want to be paid by him. You were seeking work. Maybe you could work as part of the Centurions of Estor, or something. Astoria, like maybe you could. And that's when he started puking on your legs, on your sandals. I'm sorry. I'm gonna clean that. I'm gonna clean that up. I'll just be right back. And he flew kind of sideways and kind of through the roof of the palace. As stuff kind of cascaded down.
Now I know why Mom never had me meet him.
And that was when Anora showed up. I have overheard the conversation. You're one of the bastards. What is it that you want? Coin, you're not just here for a job. We both know this.
I need a job for Coin, yes, but I'm
And
not
then
about
why
to
do
just...
you come here? You could work anywhere.
Because I've been blacklisted from the arenas.
She kind of looks
And
over. And
I
like
have
there's
an
a
oath.
understanding of like, oh, okay.
I have an oath to repay, and if I don't start working on the oath soon, I'm gonna become a problem. I don't mean that as a threat.
Oh, really?
I will
You're going
have
to become
problems.
A problem, is that it?
No,
See, you come here for a specific reason. I have known many of your type. There are dozens. I've seen the ledgers of my siblings out there. My heart goes out to you, but the truth is, our father, is a philanderer. He goes about, he spreads his seed as if it was rain, and then you come here asking for money. Every single month, a different one shows up. And I have to deal with it. I have to deal with the mess. You see him? You see how he is? Every single day.
Everyone knows that you run the show. Everyone knows that.
And I want you to know that too. You were dealt a bad hand. I am sorry for you. If I could wish it different, I would. But it is your lot. I will not have a bastard hanging around the court. Because if I make the exception for you, I have to make the exception for all of us. All of them. Because you know what is the difference? I am not a bastard. I was actually born in wedlock. I'm the only one, in fact. You will never have a stake on the throne. You will never earn coin working for my father or for me. You can have anything you want in Astoria. I will not banish you. I will tolerate you. And believe me, that is the best that I can do for you. So, what was your name, Paphne?
Daphne.
Daphne. I will have my attendants clean you on the way out, and I apologize. You will be given a pittance to replace those sandals. But other than that, that is the last handout you're going to receive.
Keep your coin.
Now, you want to keep our coin.
I wanted a job.
Then get one. Astoria is a big city. It's not just arenas where you can work.
Nobles. Yeah, probably spit in the ground like where the vomit is just to...
You walk out, and as you kind of sit down on the marble stairs for a second, just kind of clean off your sandals with the rag that you did end up taking from the priest. So kind of like, God damn it. You hear steps kind of up behind you, and then stop. Just
I wouldn't...
grumpy kind of...
I wouldn't see the princess right now. Or the king, for that matter.
King, he should not be called this, a deep, gruff voice says.
She'll look up at that point.
You look up, and there is the god of winter solstice, of artifice, of the smith, Vulcan, who is your grandfather?
Not gonna call him that right away. That sounds weird. My apologies. Look, I didn't mean to speak ill of Peter Orion.
No, please do. I want to hear more of it. He is a stupid little boy who's doing stupid boy things. He has his pampered, stupid little daughter running his kingdom, while he goes off, fucks and drinks like the world is ending tomorrow. Please, more of it.
And he kind of sits down next to you. And he waves his hand, and all of the ichor and all the disgustingness kind of disappears.
I think like she laughs, and then it just goes into like uncontrollable sobbing at this kindness, and
he just
it's a ramble.
Without saying anything, he just kind of puts his arm around you.
Definitely it was, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that my other granddaughter was such a little primp to you. You said you need a job. You work hard?
Of course.
You ever swing a hammer before?
In the arena.
Yeah, we need something a little bit more consistent.
Consistent? I mean, I know how to hit a spot over and over again.
He stands up.
Good. You're going to hit it at least 250 times per side. Come with me.
Who would live?
Starts walking.
Goes over her head. He's talking about a forge.
We're going to bring it to life.
Okay.
And so you followed Vulcan, a momentous choice that ultimately led you to become part of the Light of Thylea, now properly earned through having a tragic backstory. And into the present moment, where after the Furies had left, and after you guys had spent some just time glancing over the first few pages of Sidon's journal, Yanni laid out the story of how Sidon had manipulated his wife, had used substances and magic to addle her mind, to make her complacent, insane, to act in a way that was most beneficial to him and his vision for Thylea, and for a split second, the memories of your betrothal kind of come up, welling up. And that is where we're going to take a quick break. See you guys here shortly. And with that, we are back after a wonderful exploration of toxic masculinity in the ancient Greek stage. With that, as we're going back in, we are back in the present moment. As a reminder, you guys are in a rectangular room that has two very outstanding pieces of machines upon them. These contraptions are, on the one hand, a mithril orrery that has a model of the solar system, as some of the academics at the academy back in Mitros have painted them. Some people believing that their celestial bodies and Thylea itself has been built, is actually upon a thing that they call a planet, which some people say this is ludicrous. Clearly, the world is flat. But long story short, you can see that as well as a gilded bronze telescope that is some 20 feet long and kind of looking out the window. You can see out there some of the remnants of the fighting. There's still some cold breath attacks and fire breath attacks from the bronze and silver dragons from, of course, Mitros's Stormlord battalion as they're fighting. And the Griffin Riders and Geigans and like throwing up lightning bolts up against these things. The fighting very much is still going on outside.
I just remembered I was gonna lunge at Argenti, and now I don't know what to do because he's not here.
Darian, seeing this, just puts herself slightly in front of Argenti, and she's like, Did you hear about time? And I'll point to the planets, and I'll look at Yanni. They said something about time with this machine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing about this for the first time too, but maybe we can figure it out.
I know some magic. You'd call me like a half magic person.
a half caster.
Yeah, I don't know caster, but half of magic I know. So
well, you cast spells, so people who cast spells, we call them casters.
But I don't know as many as Yanni. Well, I actually know more now because I have more available to me. But normally he can cast more.
Okay, I mean, he still knows them all. He just.
I'm a bit tapped out, but I'm not completely dry. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's going to take me a while to figure this out. Probably at least like
lights.
5-10 minutes.
I go back to seething in silence.
We'll say that for, again, Alex and Jason couldn't join us tonight. Bursa actually does the thing that you almost did, and then Darian stepped in and kind of just grabs Argenti and drags him into the other room. And you can hear words
fight.
Why did you do 2 dragons? And they kind of like, and Bursa just kind of, it's like, I will not hurt him, but he's going to answer. And poof, the door closes.
Everybody be quiet, I want to hear this.
I'm slightly satisfied.
So
Darian puts her ears up
for the next hour and a half. Let's go.
Let's roleplay us eavesdropping on them fighting.
Looking at this machine, do I see any like runes or any like inscriptions, anything that would indicate the language that's on it, if there is?
In fact, there to two people things are of interest here. You see that it is not just mithril but also bronze that is in there, and the runes indeed seem to have transmutative, conjurative, latent meaning to them. It's something that you, Yanni, would certainly know almost intrinsically by now. The thing that is interesting to you, Darian, go to make me an Arcana check with advantage, if you would.
16. Pretty good for a +0.
With a 16, you do realize something interesting here, which is that the way that the cogs are shaped, there's a very distinct form where the corners of the cogs themselves are rounded off just slightly so that they fit in better. It's a mechanism that a lot of the stem face, the birds of the Amazons, use so that they function better. And what's fascinating to you is that the cogs that make this thing tick, and it's currently moving. The entire thing is kind of like slowly whirring. It is not kind of like spinning about very quickly, but it is ever so steadily moving forward, and you can see the rings kind of moving, and some of the moons around seem to be kind of just magically against gravitational forces just moving on their own, not falling to the ground as they should. And as all that is happening, you are kind of taken aback, Darian. Or maybe not taken aback, but however you feel about that, you realize that whatever machinery, whatever technology, whatever engineering was used to make this thing, very much was also used or is being used by the Amazons to make their stim phase. Yanni, I would like you to make me an Arcana check with advantage as well.
Ooh. Fancy. Advantage. 26.
26.
26.
As you look across,
Boppity-boopy.
Boppity-boopy, not only do you recognize kind of the same thing with the cog, the machinery, and all that stuff that has to do with the stim phase as you built your own, but you remember that there's a place where you found the blueprints, the machinery explained, contraptions like this. This is an incredibly intricate thing, and as you kind of peel back a central kind of like pillar latch there, you look inside and you can see that there are hundreds of cogs moving, and there's like an inner glow, as you can see a bunch of runes doing the work moving them, and you realize that this is something that not just any sphinx built, but the Lotus Witch. You can almost see her artist's stroke across it, the way that she builds things, the way she sketched out things. And in fact, you recognize a couple of sketches of this very thing in the notes that you took away, though a lot of pieces were missing and you were never able to truly figure out what it was. You, however, become very still, and there's kind of like this shiver that runs across you, because the runes that were written in there, the runes were magical, and these runes are as well. This is not just graviturgy, something that inspired you to develop some of the magic that you now use as well, but graviturgy inadvertently oftentimes leads to the manipulation of time. And indeed, as the Fury said, there is something about this contraption that might help influence the time around it through the use of the person interacting with the contraption. The gears tick away, and you stand there and you can almost now feel the sensation. It's like when a scientist discovers something groundbreaking for the first time and they see the universe differently. You look upon this thing and the idea starts swarming through you. With a 26, you wonder if this could let you travel back in time. If you could find the constellation of the planets as it was 3 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, when Thylea was created, before Thylea was created. What was at the beginning of the universe? Was there another creator? Who created Thylea? That swarms through your head, and then you think, what if we go forward in time? What if we stop time? You think of your words of having been so exhausted. You see the others having been beaten up, bludgeoned. You can see... Actually, make me an insight check really quick, Yanni. Yeah, they look like they always do. I mean, they're whatever. They're tall people. It's hard to see their faces anyway. You just see the double chins, the triple chins that they pretend like they don't have.
Whoa.
Please let me have a great chin in D&D. Please don't take
this
that
is
away
my
from
escape
me.
from reality, David. I have one
That's
chin.
fair. Honestly, if I look at the art and think about it, everybody has a cut chin, don't they? Yeah. Everybody's a myth, right?
Yeah, he's in
We're
her
all hot
monologue.
as
It's
fuck.
really too bad that Lyra has that turkey gobble since she's half bird anyway.
I will kill everyone. I will kill everybody.
Yanni, why did you just cast vicious mockery?
A nice edge. Why don't we trigger her?
You got a level of bard for phrase. Hey guys,
I'm already ready to murder one party member. I will murder all of you. I will kill every one of you.
All of us?
All of you.
We all were witness to her.
For some reason, Lyra wants to kill Daphne. She doesn't know why. She's just really mad at her.
Oh my god.
You'd have no reason.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, so Darian, Yanni, you guys exchange a look as you can see recognition, of course, of the Stimfate technology, but something beyond, something greater is certainly at play here. And Yanni, with a 26, I'll also say you only explored the first section of the journal, which talked about his children, kind of outlining some of the things that seem to indicate to you that, again, he had been manipulating Lutheria for who knows how long, making her literally go mad so he could manipulate and control her to be the bad guy, to be the bad god in this world, so he could be the god. And as you look at that thing, you wonder what other notes you might find in this journal. So, generally speaking, also mechanically, just between Damon and I, you're going to have advantage on some knowledge checks that have to do with Sidon from here on out for as long as you have that journal.
Cool.
Who knows? There might be a nude sketch of someone in there for no reason.
No, it's actually just a sketch of Vitalis sketching Daphne. Sidon's was watching.
Oh, no.
All right, so we have to kill Vitalis. We have to kill Sidon.
Wait, is Sidon just watching, or was Sidon manipulating through art?
Bum, bum,
Does all of Daphne's trauma go all the way back to Sidon?
Yeah, the woman that he cheated on with just turns into a hag.
No. Oh, no.
Turns out Desdemona has her claws in all of our backstories.
Not that hag. Sidon has his own hags. There's so many hags.
Yeah, Alex, who's not here. It's not the Fates. It's other hags.
Not all hags.
Oh no.
Hashtag not all hags.
Not after Vitalis. He doesn't get that. No.
It's true.
Do you know what this is, Darian? I mean, beyond just that it has something to do with time?
I recognize the build of it, but I don't know how it would do anything with time.
It looks like if we can set this to how things were or will be, we might be able to go there to that point in time. And there might even be a way to make time stand still. I'm not sure. I'm still puzzling it out, but now I'm all like, what has Sidon been doing with this thing? Surely you don't have something like this and just admire it from across the room,
What would be more dangerous? Him going back or going forward?
I mean, both could be bad. I think going back would probably be worse because he could unmake things.
It would be too risky without fail-safes, without knowing that what he would do wouldn't affect him.
Yeah, but he's a cocky son of a bitch.
This is true. What if we stopped time? We could be safe. We could rest.
In theory. And I don't know how that would work exactly. Does it create a bubble around itself where time keeps moving but everything outside of it stops? Or I don't even know for sure if it can do it. I'm just kind of theorizing.
You said that this thing is slowly moving around.
Mm-hmm. Like a clock, ticking away, but it's much more smooth, and all the planets are slowly rotating as they should.
Is there a power button that we could, or
You think, Yanni, with the 26, you recognize that internally it is all of the magical gears. They have little runes upon them that are moving everything around. So it's the runes upon the cogs in the center console, like the center pillar, that keep things ticking away.
Daphne, I don't really know what they're talking about because it just looks like a bunch of balls on sticks to me, and I don't really know how they got to this point.
I think like Daphne's just been zoning out, like reliving this trauma, staring out the window, and just
Daphne,
like,
hey, Daphne.
What are we doing?
Darian and Yanni are talking about stopping time with this weird modern art piece in the middle of the room, and I don't understand what's going on.
My knowledge of art is a bit limited.
That's interesting.
Why'd your eye twitch when you said that?
Do you not like art? Are you not a connoisseur of the arts?
It's fine. I just find my arts in metalwork.
You always struck me as someone who would appreciate charcoal drawings.
Or marble statues. Like I feel like that would be something you would love.
Or anatomic sketches.
Paper burns too easily, and every statue can be broken.
Have you ever seen the Vitruvian Man?
In this universe,
What
it absolutely would be called the crap. Now I'm forgetting
the
his name
Thylea
too.
Man.
No, it's the what's his name? You guys have absolutely heard of it, and oh my god, my brain. Vitalis, the Vitalian Man.
The Vitalian Man.
No.
I hate this. I hate that we've made this canon.
I'm sorry. Stop. Let's focus on the important things instead of my art taste. Why are we going to stop? How is that going to help us? Does it stop time for us all?
I'm not sure. I got to figure that out. But if it can do that, then we'd have a chance to recover a bit without anybody else being able to do anything while we do it.
But I mean, if this is here and Sidon's been able to do this, why hasn't he used it for?
That's what worries me. Is what has he been doing with it?
Oh.
Maybe he's too stupid to figure it out.
No, he's not stupid. I mean, even when it seems like his cockiness might get in the way, he still seems to be a step ahead of us. And
that's a good point.
Well, you would think that he would want to brag about it. I mean, he writes about every single thing he thinks in his stupid book, so maybe he would write about when he's been successful with this, or when he's used it, or what he's seen with this big giant whatever this is. I don't know.
Yeah, he's also clearly a peeping Tom. I don't know what he's been looking at this whole time. And can I just walk over and look through the giant spyglass?
As you look upon it, it kind of is almost disorienting and almost puke-inducing as you look down, because it's like super close. You suddenly see like something very close up, and it seems to be Mitros. And Mitros is under siege.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Lyra?
Sorry, I'm kind of lightheaded. I got real nauseous looking through this so fast. I was not expecting it to be so close.
Hold her steady.
But it looks like Mitros, and it looks like maybe it's getting attacked right now.
What?
That's not good.
I just moved back so Daphne could look through it.
Do I want to look through it?
Just like maybe like take a couple deep breaths first.
Okay.
It
Sure.
just made me really nauseous. It was real intense, real quick.
You said Mitros is under siege?
Yeah, that's what it looked like at least.
I think like she instantly panics about her mom, so yeah, she'll take a look and confirm.
You look through, and again, it's just this disorienting. You go from something that is this room, and you can overlook this massive tower that is a mountain carved out of, or a tower carved out of a mountain, and then suddenly, it's like you have a bird's eye view, kind of looking, not bird's eye, but like an angular view, looking down upon Mitros, and indeed there you can see as Sidonian forces have pushed into the city. Part of the city is on fire. You can see where Centurions are fighting other Centurions. Dragons are doing strafing runs across. And then suddenly you see what looks like a massive lightning bolt just kind of piercing through the heart of the dragon, yeeting it down onto some of the buildings. And you can see what it appears to be a woman with like a full like a warrior outfit as she kind of goes through. You see a chariot that is being pulled, but looks like two rocks as she kind of like flies through, summons another lightning bolt and just flings it down onto another house. And one after another, you suddenly see as there's just like a beam of light piercing through the cloud that is hanging over the Empyrean Palace on Mount Vulcan and kind of hits her straight in the eyes. The chariot kind of veers to the left away from the thing as the laser kind of follows and then peters out. And you can see that there's just lightning. There's a massive cloud hanging over the mountain and around it and just like striking blindly into the cloud that is the Empyrean Palace.
Guys. We can't... What are we doing? We need to... Oh, no.
Go to the vault room. You're right. We do.
Can Darian try
Myra?
something stupid?
Have you
Liger's
played
already
D&D
trying
before?
something stupid, so...
So
Have you met this group?
I can see out the window, right? And I can see people fighting.
Yes.
We're not close to Mitros, though.
I want to try,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll stop if I might not be strong enough, but I'll stop if it might break the machine.
Sure,
but I
sure.
want to just hold a plane, like in Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2, where there's like the big thing. I want to try to like
Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2 level 3.
I want to try to stop the planet from moving.
Okay.
To see if by stopping the planet from moving, like stopping this contraption, if time freezes outside.
You reach up. I would like you to make me an athletics check, please.
That concerns me because there's that part in Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2 where one planet goes this way and one planet goes this way and it hits that guy.
As you just like, and you kind of
I got a 4.
you're being dragged along. Go to make me an insight check as part of this. You're just like, no, stop, shit.
18. This was a stupid idea.
You're not an engineer. You're not a smith. This is not your forte. You're kind of like, hanging on to that.
You're not Lara Croft.
You're not an archaeologist. But as you get dragged to the side there, you see the open hatch where Yana kind of is going like this to Lyra as she suggested going to the vault. It's like, what are you talking about? And you kind of look inside of there and you wonder, this is magically powered. So you probably need something magical, whether it is a spell or probably even better, maybe something like a magically enhanced weapon to kind of wedge in there and make the gear stop.
Oh, David's trying to make us get rid of the sword that we finally got back.
I didn't say you have to use the sword. You could use Lyra's shuttle, whatever you guys want to use.
I have this quarterstaff I don't use anymore.
Is it magical?
It's a quarterstaff of warning.
Is it that magical?
I was gonna say, oh boy.
Like if we had to rate it.
It's magical enough.
You can certainly try.
Sorry, that's a metalsmith.
Like, would you find a lot of these around? Is it a pretty common thing you would...
Look, if we're jamming things into cogs and gears, why not a stick? That makes the most sense.
Well, if you need something magical to jam into these gears, there is a vault right across.
You know, that's a great idea, Darian.
Daphne, we could maybe even turn back time.
I
already posted it.
That was not the
Oh my god, I didn't even realize you already posted it. That's so great. Share? The one real god?
She's the most famous bard of them all.
One of Kyra's beloved.
Kyra's been Cher this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't see how we move on from here with where we're at and take on what's waiting for us.
You're right.
And also, Mitros is very far. We did take a magical boat to get here.
Yeah.
I can have us back there tomorrow, I guess,
Right.
at this point.
Right.
Still faster than the boat.
Well, yes, but also you don't have any magic left, so we can't do anything about it right now, is what I'm trying to say.
And Sidon would have to let us leave.
Oh, yeah, also that. Also, we keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, and I know she's fighting with our champion, but Briss's son really needs us.
Yeah, whatever.
Right, versus sun,
tertiary
versus
now.
sun.
Like, I feel like I bring this up a lot, and I feel like I shouldn't have to, but there are
Briss's
children.
son is still here. We did also make an oath to save that other guy's son. We did also make an oath to not kill so many Geigans, but we keep doing that.
Well, we didn't make an oath on that one, but
we just made a promise.
We did promise.
You're right.
We said
Full
we'd
on
do our
his
best.
part.
Which I really feel like we have not been.
Well,
Fine.
they keep attacking us first.
Yeah, Yanni, of course they do. That's what they were told to do by a you
I
know
like that
what?
she blamed you, Yanni.
You know what, Yanni, could we? I'm not blaming you. Yeah, have you? Well, I mean, I'm blaming all of us, myself included.
Darian and I just, what the fuck?
I mean,
It's
have you read
self-defense.
more?
Let me.
Have you read more in that book at all?
No, I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, I'm gonna try and see if I can find some reference to how this thing works or how he's used it, or maybe both.
All right, as you guys take a quick 10 trying to leaf through this. It's going to make me an investigation check on this.
Okie doke.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that
29.
Damn.
All right. I'm gonna roll a die.
No.
long rest, everybody.
I'm scared. Oh
He's giving
no!
himself a plus 29 so that he knows he won't lose.
What is this? Is this never good when David does this? That's worrisome.
Yanni, I'd like you to, or Yanni and Darian, both of you guys roll me a D100, please.
Oh shit!
You know how I
You're-
feel about you in hundreds.
Your gods died too.
11.
Mm.
The good news is
Beautiful.
my god answers my plea for divine intervention.
David, you ruined it. You ruined
Oh my
it.
gosh!
You ruined it. I'm not gonna roll another one for months.
Okay.
Isn't level 10 when you get divine intervention?
You flip through the pages as the rest of you guys argue, talk back and forth, talk about the vault and all the things that could possibly be in the vault, and ask a lot of very directed questions about charcoal paintings at Daphne. And Yanni, you try to very successfully block out all this hubbub around you. And you get to the section in the journal that deals with this contraption. The facts that you find out, that you figure out, are that indeed Sidon went to the Sphinxes of the Isle of Time. There's an island where sphinxes stay, where time works differently. You've heard about this and read about this at the academy, and you do know that some have gone there, but nobody has ever really returned. Some people have kind of tried to map the outside of it, but the island always looked different every single time they came. And in fact, a thing that happened to those who sailed near the isle to try to, do cartography work was that they sometimes came back looking younger, sometimes looking older. And that is something that is in line with what you experienced with the Lotus Witch in the fight, where her time power sometimes seemed to send you guys forward in time. A thing that was interesting to you, something that Lyra even brought up after the fight, was why didn't the Sphinx ever de-age you guys? Like, some people certainly felt a little bit younger, but you guys certainly could have just been erased from existence, unbirthed by these time magics. Interesting. It seems that Sidon was mad, but somehow could not act against the Sphinxes because he was told no. And he goes on, of course, pages like, who are the Sphinxes? Who are these mortal beings to tell a god no? So instead, he went to a different Sphinx, one that was exiled from her compatriots, one who lived by herself now, the Lotus Witch. And in exchange for passage into other worlds, for creating an exception to his anti-planar device located within his heaven, she explained to him how to construct this device, even came to the tower and helped him in its construction. Sidon was overjoyed. He writes in pages and pages about how excited he was that he would be able to change Thylea's story forever, that he would find a way to control and shackle, if not his mother, at the very least his father, drain his power, and ascend to absolute supremacy over all of Thylea. And then the test pages begin. And at first there was a lot of hope. But immediately after day 2, 3, 4, 5, the frustration began to show. Sidon was no fool. He wanted to test out the device before really getting too crazy with it and using it on himself. And so he sent his heroes forth, sending them on missions to change little things in history. And indeed, they were able to. But the problem was, whenever it became further than the day that this machine was built, no changes could be made. He wrote letters to the Lotus Witch, angrily telling her that this is not what he had wanted from her, and the Lotus Witch reminding him that she had provided him a device as specified in the oath that they swore, and nothing more. And to not test, not just ironically, the fates with this, but things that are larger than this tiny world of his. He instead played with the idea of traveling forward in time, but saw no use in that, as he might miss something and find himself at a disadvantage. Instead opting to, for the time being, simply leave this useless piece of mithril garbage within his room of observance.
I don't suppose there's a date on the, like, how far back we can go?
There absolutely is. Almost 10 years ago now.
Huh. Looks like we can go back about 10 years. Doesn't look like if he's tried to stop time, he didn't mention it. And he's mentioned a lot about this thing, so I got a hunch he hasn't.
He definitely did mention that too. That is definitely something that the DM forgot to throw out there.
We're going to test this by going back in time 30 seconds so that I don't say that.
Little Yanni just goes shh on Yanni's lips, like, what the fuck? No,
Okay.
But as you, the one thing that is missing there within 29 is some of the activation phrases. It is very obvious to you that you need words of activation for this contraption to work properly, and he did not jot those down in the journal. Likely on purpose, so that only he would know what they are. They're not written on the machine, and you wonder whether he even protected the machine from being identified in that way. However, he does speak about an interesting scenario wherein Thylea, in his stupidity, had grabbed the contraption, kind of what Darian was trying to do, and just kind of moved it around. In that moment, what happened was Chelsea had been maybe some 20 feet away, currently kind of spying on this Light of Thylea group. And as Thylea was kind of playing around with it, she said that he seemed to speed up immensely, suddenly just becoming a little bit of a flash and then kind of standing next to her. As she didn't know exactly what it was, but after speaking with one another, they deduced that for a time, if you can somehow hold this thing still enough, you can stop time for as long as it is still. Yanni, with a 29. As a player, above table, I'm going to tell you, if you can maybe stop this thing, y'all could even take a long rest in here.
Oh, please. I rolled a divine intervention.
All of us?
Everyone who can fit around the device, which is, yes, all of you.
I think if we can figure out how to make it stand still, we can take some time to recover. Maybe we'll wait until Briss is done raking Argentia over the coals and see if she can put that Geigen strength of hers to use somehow.
Would she have to hold on to the device the whole time? Sounds like she wouldn't get any sleep.
I mean, unless we find some other way to keep it from moving once she gets it stopped.
True.
I'm not sure what that would be.
Oh, we
Look over at the other two.
Hi, David.
Sure,
I would like
the vault.
to just jam my quarterstaff into the.
Larry gets bored of the conversation, goes over, takes out the staff, jabs
But
it in
wait!
your arm. Larry, go and roll me a dexterity check, Darian. You go on. Both of you guys roll me initiative checks really quick. Let's just see who rolls higher.
Initiative.
Oh, it says there's no combat
Oh,
encounters.
stupid.
D20. I'll just do my
Yeah,
D20.
just roll a d20. Just
Yeah,
roll a
just roll
d20.
d20s.
Well, I have a plus 10 to initiative, so I'm absolutely taking advantage of that.
Nice.
Damn.
Lyra, you are about to jam it in there. Darren just whoosh, very expertly just grabs the end of the staff.
I love the idea. The execution, we wait for everybody here. Let's wait.
Let's say that.
Not just that, but I'm pretty sure this thing would chew that staff to little tiny splinters.
Probably.
All right. Well, none of us in here are strong enough to hold it. So, do we
if you
have
gave
any better ideas?
second chance, I could totally try. Well,
What
do
if we
want
just
to
throw
use?
Argentia into it?
No, we cannot fall apart now. We are literally endgame. We cannot do it.
Does anybody... I mean, we don't know about Argenti, but anybody got the ability to summon something that might last long enough that could hold it?
Well,
Yeah, but I don't think we'd all fit if I summoned. I could call Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Big Rhonda from Point Place, Wisconsin?
Where's Wisconsin?
So you guys haven't met
That 70s
me
show
yet.
reference. If you've never watched it, you wouldn't
Okay.
get it.
Daphne wouldn't know where Wisconsin is.
I know.
Yanni saw
My-
some shit in the tower of the Lotus Witch.
Apparently.
Well, let's.
my thing
Come
only
on.
lasts an hour, so
That's not going to help a whole lot.
10 minutes.
I mean, I feel like this sword would be more useful killing titans, but
oh, so we don't like putting the staff in the machine, but we think about putting the sword in the machine.
At least the sword's
metal
made of
versus
metal.
wood.
I'm just saying we're coming back to the vault. I feel like all signs.
Yes.
Yeah, you never know. There might be an adamantine something in there that we could jam in there.
Maybe there's just a statue of Sidon in there. Daphne doesn't seem to like statues. We could use that to stop the machine.
What about this telescope? We could probably unscrew something on this telescope.
No, I like the telescope. We should leave the telescope alone. It was kind of a rush.
All right.
I wonder.
What am I gonna do?
All right. Well, let's give Brissa a minute to finish with Argenti. Maybe between the two of them, they'll have something that can work.
She pushes her finger in his chest, and then walks away from him. Already said that I would die.
Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to be here for this. Can we please go to the vault?
Oh.
If we can go back 10 years.
Can't go back at all. We don't know how to use this thing.
Right. But we might be able to figure that out. I'm just thinking...
With the 29 Yanni, there's one interesting thing that occurs to you as you speak, that none of the heroes that he sent back, Minotaur, Gigan, whatever, reported back in. Some of the events were changed, they accomplished their mission, but none returned to the tower as they were told. That is the one thing that you know. So you do know... Sidon deduced that they were successful in being sent back in time. It changed something and made it the current normal. But those things, the people that were sent back, they didn't report back to the tower.
Because they're free!
Free fall.
I don't know if going back would be worth it.
Yeah, only 10 years, not much. I mean, how much could we actually change?
I love how Clancy's literally like scratching at the Joker with that
I mean,
Lyra's trying to map out how long ago it was that her brother died.
We could get Darian out of that prison cell sooner. We could
not unpetrify her mom while her organs are missing.
There's that. We could...
Sorry, Darian.
Stop.
Casual re-traumatized.
We could stop Lutheria from killing Pithor and Valis. We could stop Vulcan from getting himself imprisoned. We could
redo the stupid summit that we had that didn't work.
It sort of worked.
But barely worked.
But for every action we change, we can't account for what will come after.
I know.
And it's selfish to say this, I know, but if I can't go back to before I was imprisoned, before my mom was petrified, it's not what I want. It's not back to what was perfect.
Well, that's fair enough.
Not to mention, I mean, I imagine he's had this thing longer than 10 years.
Not from the dates that he listed in his journal.
Oh.
That's the thing. It only lets you go back in time to the point that it was created. Anything before that doesn't work. And it's only about 10 years ago, based on his journal. Which seems like it was some clever semantics on the part of the Lotus Witch to pull that off, to keep him from being able to go back further and really mess things up.
And you guys killed her, so we can't, like, call her up and ask?
Yeah, that part also kind of concerns me, because we did kill her, and she had this knowledge of how to make things like this, and then right after we killed her, we sacrificed her to the fates, which makes me concerned about what kind of knowledge they now possess.
Well, I mean, the fates are supposed to help us, right? Call upon them.
But- Okay. For one, I can, if we really need to.
Just saying.
Wait, no, just kidding. I'm out of spell slots.
Okay. So back to the original problem.
I could pray real hard, but that usually doesn't work. I'm not a cleric.
I'm for looking at the vault and seeing if there's something there. I'm also not opposed to at this point. Just, I'm sure I could find a weak spot, a good spot to, take the sword and find a good spot to shove it in there.
I don't know that we want to risk breaking that sword.
We could go find something else in the
In the
vault.
vault. Yes.
Listen, if we're gonna pause time anyway, then it's not gonna hurt to take 10 minutes to go look in the vault.
Unless the vault's guarded by lightning golems or something. Then it's
Well,
gonna-
whatever it is,
Lightning
it's
golem.
sleeping. It's sleeping right now.
But the longer we wait, I've learned about these things called REM cycles, and we don't want to hit it on the lighter end of the REM cycle.
Who is Reb?
I
don't
don't
know.
Some scientist.
But
I was
apparently,
reading the book.
if you have enough of it, you end up with a bunch of shiny happy people or something.
And
But
if we do wake it up, we can just grab the first pointy object we see, stab it into the machine, and stop time anyways, and then we're fine.
I still have some spells, so I can confuse it.
I have 2 spells, and I don't know how helpful either of them will be. One of them will just do damage to it. The other one will make the entire room covered in darkness, and it will also hurt us if we're inside there. So...
I mean, I have a few spells left.
I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky.
I'm pretty sneaky too.
I can make myself hard to see for 6 seconds.
All right. You know what?
Let's just
Let's
be
just
real
go.
quiet.
Yeah, let's go. We've been talking about it for ages, and Argenti and Brissa are
Still
pouting.
fighting. Still fighting.
And you know what? If we go over
And
there,
you
I bet you Brissa will perk up.
Really don't
Oh God,
care
I
about
can't.
it. Shut
I
up.
can't deal with listening to his voice
Oh.
right now. I need to get out of this.
Who?
Who am I
What was
again?
her name? El.
No. Oh, sorry. That was just
Who's
a,
the dragon
natural-
woman with him?
a natural reaction.
Nafil?
It starts with an N.
Enra? Enrel?
Enya?
No.
Where's
Nefel?
Nafel.
I want to say Nefel?
Yeah.
Clone.
Nefeli?
Definitely.
Now, could you stay here and watch our friends and make sure they don't kill each other?
I will.
Thank
But
you.
you all have been taking a long time discussing weird metal machinery. I could just
Sorry,
bite it.
we forgot you were here this whole time.
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you say bite it?
Of course.
You,
It would
I mean, if-
probably be delicious.
if you want to put weird things in your mouth, that's
You know,
fine.
I did think, what if we just break it? Because a broken object is also not moving. But I don't know if it would work like that.
No, but
Something this powerful?
I wasn't thinking about the fact that you're a dragon.
We did
Yes.
forget.
You could probably just hold this thing long enough for us to sleep, couldn't you?
And it wouldn't hurt you. You could sleep too.
I could try.
You could just put your body in the way, really.
She
Yeah.
probably looks really beat up still.
She
Correct?
is. Oh yeah.
It doesn't mean she's not strong. It doesn't mean she's not
If
strong.
you guys find a different way, she could get a long rest, and then you have a fully rested dragon.
There we go.
So
And we
let's
come
go
back to
into
the
the vault.
David, you're really just bringing us back to the vault.
Let's go. Let's go to the vault. If we don't find
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
if we don't find anything in the vault, we'll use the dragon.
And I want to just take a little peek-see. Just a little.
Just a little.
You guys
This
should
will
have been a
be-
bunch of goblins, I swear. All right, David, you're in charge of group movement.
Move us to the vault.
Good sir.
You're gonna have to remind me where the vault is. Is that over
it's
here?
down and to the right,
Yeah.
and then further to the right.
And we have to
Lyra
make
like
sure.
has it mapped out already.
Yeah, we have to
I'm
make
like,
sure that
it's 20 feet south and then 80 feet to the east.
yeah, and the door. We have to make sure that the doors behind us are closed, so it's like a dark little
Suddenly
like.
they slam shut in
area?
front of you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't even. No. So the doors are shut, so it's like a dark little alcove. So when we peeksy open,
They won't see the light
they
shining
won't.
in.
They
from
won't
the
see
other
a light
side.
shining in.
Before I barge out into the space here, I want to kind of do a little.
You don't
Peek
even
around
have
the
to
corner.
make a roll. It is
Little
empty
pixie.
and it is eerily quiet.
They're waiting for us. They're like, where are
Upstairs.
they?
They're like, surely they would have come up here by now. It's
Surely.
been like a week.
Even Chelsea, who like planned for our rants at each other, is now like, I didn't
Man,
think
this
they'd
is
go this
taking a little
long.
longer than I thought it would.
They're like tapping their foot.
Is it peaksy time?
Like
Can I
Now,
give
mind
the
you-
help action for a pixie?
Pass Without Trace is great for stuff that is especially visually based, like for disappearing, being able to really sneak around. For anything that is potentially more visual based, or sorry, for non-visual things. I mean,
Auditory is the word you're looking for.
thank you, non-visual. Well, I mean, you cannot hide in plain sight, as a reminder, so you don't know what this next room is going to look like. Yanni, you do have something in your arsenal that is a little bit better than disappearing for 6 seconds, if you want to use that.
We all can't.
Yeah,
be wizards.
I can go invisible again. I still have that much juice left.
But then
I
it would only be
also-
Yanni going in. If you upcast it, you might even be.
I can, if we really want to, I can make up to 3 of us total invisible.
If we're lucky and whatever's on the other side of the door happens to be a celestial, a fiend, or an undead, I can also try and immobilize it for a time.
Okay.
But only if it's one of those 3 things.
Yanni, personally,
Yeah.
I think you should go in first. Make sure it doesn't wake up, because you can go invisible. But if that door opens and they wake up, so
Yeah. Well,
I would
like-
save one of you. Sorry.
I can. Like I said, I can do up to 3 of us.
Oh wait, sorry,
So-
celestial, fiend, or elemental. The undead can still move.
Good to know. So, I mean, Darian and I are both naturally pretty sneaky because this doesn't do anything about sounds. So maybe if I make the 2 of us invisible, we can.
I will make us pass. Well, I mean, that doesn't really help us with the sound. I can't silence us.
I can kind of just hover off the ground.
I'll say
and not make
mechanically speaking,
footsteps.
if you guys are invisible and you roll well on stealth, like yeah, your footsteps will be very light.
Just to make it real stealthy, can I still throw on Pass Without a Trace?
Sure, yeah, you guys can layer those.
Like-
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Okay. So I will look at. Okay, we are looking for a magical weapon we can stick in.
Yeah.
And any other shinies that like
A magical
we could
weapon, a shield guardian, whatever we can.
Yeah. Okay. If you hear screaming and I look at Lyra and Daphne, I would say come help us, but it might be too late. So
Wait, we're not going in?
I think only 3 of us can be invisible.
Up to 3.
Up to 3.
Not very stealthy. Like, I can a little bit, but
All right.
How
Well,
about
we know Briss is about as quiet as that bell she dropped earlier,
Yeah.
and Argenti looks like he's pouting. So, do either of you want to go or not?
I am
I'm going.
not pouting.
You're not in here.
Go back to fighting with Brissa.
Oh, don't tell me what to do.
You're not here.
Well, I will cast Pass Without a Trace because that doesn't affect. That could affect everybody while we're all chilling.
No, don't do this
What?
again.
I didn't drop
He's
the
gonna
thing.
Drop
he's
the
gonna
thing
split
now.
us out.
He's gonna what?
Split
I got
out the
click
characters.
happy.
Oh, I see.
Can you see in the dark?
Me? I
Funny
can.
you should say that. No, but I can give myself the ability to do that.
Oh, just kidding. I do have dark vision.
Yeah, but that is also concentration.
No, it's not.
Dark vision.
Dark vision? Yeah, it is.
It says touch, dark vision for 8 hours.
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought it was concentration. I fucking am. I got schooled. DM inspiration for Darian.
So
Sorry
if
for
it's
That'll help
me telling you
when you're
how
stumbling
your shit
around in
works.
the dark.
yeah. So I guess when we take a peek-see in, is it like pitch black in there?
We haven't taken a
We'll have
peek-see
to
yet.
take a peek-see. So you guys cast your spells. Apply the drop the template on Darian and Yanni on YouTube.
It like okay, I'll.
Yeah, okay, I can do it from I think.
I will, just because I don't want the verbal piece to give me away, I will also cast dark vision on myself.
Alrighty.
So if it's dark in there, I can seize.
I can see in the dark.
Pinch of dried carrot. Makes me chuckle.
I had to apply it to myself. Okay.
And then Yanni, do you make you and Darian invisible as well?
I do.
All right, target you too. I mean, you might have to do. Or
What
just
did I just do?
I'll apply it really quick. Just mark off the spell slot.
Okay, third level spell. Done. All right. You want us to roll stealth before or after
Yes,
we open
and
the
I
door?
would like you guys both to roll blind, please.
Blind. Yeah,
Oh no!
I like it.
So as they're doing that, Daphne and Lyra, what are you guys talking about out there? And why is it
Whoa,
shocking
is that
on the
right?
drawings?
I'm a plus 20 for stealth right now.
I'm plus 19, so I'm right there with you. You go through?
Go through. And with that, the door opens. And the first thing that you hear is just kind of a little bit of crunching of bone. And you guys kind of open it a little further. And this entire massive hall is filled with bones. And just past them, lying in a massive heap of them, is a 3-headed dog with horns coming out of each set. You see that there's a collar upon each of the heads. One is platinum, one is gold, and one is mithril. As they're like, all three seem to be currently asleep. And your average stealth seems to not be low enough for them to notice.
Yeah.
So cute.
It's fluffy.
Do they? It's like Harry Potter. Do they have names on their collars?
They do.
Is it just me, or does that bottom head look more like a bull than a wolf?
Yeah.
They're so tired. We should let them sleep, and we should just go see what they're guarding.
Do you think 3-headed dogs are fiends?
They're probably terrible to clean up against. Oh, God, those stealth rolls.
Yeah.
Wow, I rolled crap and still got a 23.
Yeah, tell
like
me
it.
about it.
I got a 39, people. I am the knight.
Yeah, you see there. If you could see Darian, you would see her disappear. She does go back in time.
Not only do I hear the past, but I'm in the past.
Get over the past.
Yeah, I can't. That's the one thing I can't do. Do we want to step forward or wait?
As you kind of like tap in the general direction where you last remembered Yanni being in that point there.
Yeah.
One of the heads goes and keeps sleeping.
I think I scared the Dagoos. One of them just started squeaking after I did that.
Exactly.
Peeking my head into the room, I see the door to the left. And is that the only door in the room?
That does seem to be the only other
I will make my way over there.
All right, as you head downtown, go ahead and move yourselves.
I'll.
You guys are.
I'm going to
gently
assume
stepping down.
that I'm like kind of holding onto a piece of her
As Darian picks you up,
cloak or something, or that.
Darian, you kind of like incredibly. It's insane. It's like she just steps every step. Maybe it's just that inner part goblin that she is. Nobody knows about it, but she's a quarter goblin. She starts moving towards the loot. Her movement just becomes faster, kind of stepping in the spots between the bones. And you move over to the double set of doors. Now, that door is beautiful, heavy set adamantine. And you can see that it has carved into it more feats of Sidon's strength. You can see him standing upon what looks like multiple bodies of other titans. Having defeated them, his glaive piercing 3 at the same time as they kind of cry out in pain.
Does this door look to have like the barrier that we've seen in other doors?
Make me a perception check. It's a blind roll.
It's still blind. Okay, I was like, I can't see it. That's so low for what I can do.
Oh my god. You look around, high level play, literally DMs. You look around and you look across it, and it's interesting. You see a lot of dust, grime, and kind of bone dust buildup against the sides, which indicates to you that there's probably no magical barrier pushing up against that or preventing this. But it also tells you that there hasn't been a lot of traffic into and out of this thing for a minute.
I gently will squeeze Yanni's shoulder to kind of like just warn him that I'm about to do this. And I'm going to peeksy in. I'm going to look.
All right, you pull it aside a little bit, and another hallway. Congratulations. Happy Thanksgiving.
I should have known. Well, I take another step forward.
As you step into the room, you see more depictions of Sidon's grandeur to your left and the right. That's all. Another adamantine double set of doors before you. Interestingly enough, this first set was not locked.
Yeah, I was like, I gently shut that door. That's a later problem. And I'm gonna listen. Do I hear anything?
Make me another perception check, and meanwhile, Daphne, roll me a blind D100 if you would.
That's a 27.
Blind D100, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Don't ever call me ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel old. I already get that from my students, though.
You listen in, and you just hear the rhythmic breathing of the 3 Cerberus heads behind you. Nothing inside, as far as you can tell.
All right. I look to where I think Yanni is, and I open the next door.
You open the door.
Stop!
And nothing happens. The heavy doors open into a treasure gallery. There's 6 pillars in the room, and each pillar supports a shimmering glass case. The items within the cases are a black helmet, a huge dragon skull, an enormous ruby, an ancient scroll, a huge bronze gauntlet, and a sword and a shield.
Do they look like they're on like open air platforms, or is there like glass encasing them?
Glass encasing each one of them, and it's like about like 10 feet tall adamantine pillars that kind of have them on display.
Before, I haven't felt her walk past me yet, but before I walk into the room, and hopefully before she does, I would like to check the threshold for traps.
Go to make me a perception check.
I'm going to make it blind, because that's more fun. Did it go?
Seems safe as far as you can tell.
I reach out and give her a little double pat. Realize I accidentally double patted her on the butt, and I'm like, sorry.
It's okay. It's been a while.
Yachty after all. I'm just kidding.
I will walk towards the sword and shield pillar, and I'm looking for any plaque, anything that would designate, like, oh, this is what this is.
As you step inside, once again, you expect the ceiling to fall down on you, lightning to strike you, and nothing happens. As you step in there, though, you suddenly see... It seems like light just shines down. And in fact, it's almost like there's a small portal that opens up. And it shines just an intense red light. And like soft on each one of the 6 pillars. As you investigate further, you see indeed that there's a plaque. The thunderbolts and lightning, the rock and shield.
Oh, this looks so cool. Yanni,
Yeah, it does.
Oh, there you are. Don't do that.
All right. I'm not sure how to safely
And as far as you guys
open
can
any
tell,
of these.
this is kind of what the shield looks like. It is kind of this hoplon that has a bunch of what looks like Gigans and other creatures serving. And in the center, rather than that Medusa head, it's actually a Sidon head with the 3 eyes and lightning kind of crisscrossed behind him. The sword is also beautifully made. I mean, pristine weaponry that is on par with it's just a sword.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You put up this really intricate shield
place,
and
that's
then a
something there. I was like,
PNG
oh,
of a
shit.
sword. It's like,
It's a plain fucking sword. No, you can actually see it is beautifully made. It has platinum and gold engravings upon it that are clearly extremely powerful runes.
look at this meticulously crafted, decades-long shield, and here's a, I don't know,
Here's a
piece of
Minecraft
metal.
sword.
Nice. A Minecraft sword.
Listen, it's a diamond sword. Don't even fucking shit on it, alright?
Can I take a moment to look around the walls? Is it more like murals that we've seen before? Like, does that theme follow where it's depicting like...
In this room, not so much. In this place, you can really just see that there is, you know, this is just kind of designed. Go ahead and make me an insight check on this one. This room is, from an interior design perspective, this actually doesn't have a lot of reliefs and stuff like that. It has some angularity to some of the walls and stuff like that to refract the light, to create this interesting, almost like vague fog light effect in here to really just showcase how beautiful these things are. And you get a sense
they're like,
with that reference, maybe those 2 weapons in particular might be treasures that he would give out to a champion, perhaps.
you said this stuff's like 10 feet off the floor?
Yes.
Damn.
It seems to be made for the viewing of, you know, a titan rather than
Must
a
be nice to be tall.
mere humanoid.
Does the... I'll whisper to Yanni... Well, actually, I'll ask you first before I say something stupid. Is this light that's coming down, is it like sunlight or does it seem magical? Like an
Make me
alarm?
a nature check for that one.
You would think I would be good at this, but I'm not.
Interestingly enough, you look at that and it's like a portal that actually opens up, and as you kind of squeeze through, it kind of burns your eyes, but you can suddenly see almost at the edges of the portals that there's just what looks like an infinite starry sky. But indeed, the light shining through seems to be, as far as you can tell, natural sunlight, but you've never seen sun like that, like a sun that is red, burning.
Yanni, if I pick you up,
Where are you going with this?
do you feel like you could reach
In my
these
bow.
things? I know there's
in my
glass.
sword. In my Yanni.
I mean, I don't know if you're tall enough to get me up there.
I mean, if you stand on my shoulders and I go on my tippy toes, I'm 6 feet.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
don't know.
like 3, so I could probably reach but not see.
What if we knocked the pillars over? Are they like
I
loose
think
on the
that'll
ground?
up the dog. Is it
Yeah.
dog or dogs? I'm not sure.
Oh,
Dog with a Z.
yeah. They probably each have their own personality, so probably dogs.
But if one eats something that they're allergic to, all of them are suffering the consequences.
IBS is no joke.
Or too much garlic in a week, you know.
Let me see what this does. I was looking at freedom of movement. I don't think this allows me to vertically climb like a monk.
No.
Man, if only there was someone in your party who could fly.
You had your
had the
chance.
opportunity to come.
Chance.
Actually, we have the ring, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Lyra. I whisper in the ring.
What?
There-
What do you want? I'm having a conversation with Daphne.
Okay, well, there's some really cool shit here, but it's 10 feet off the ground in a glass case.
That
You can
doesn't
fly, right?
seem like an issue. 10 feet is not a lot.
What? I can't get that high.
I don't know, just jump.
I look back at Yanni and I just go, God, she can be so useless.
You moved over to the other side. You're staring at
Oh.
empty space.
Oh, God, Yanni, we talked about this. I have rope.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm back. What do you want me to do?
Nothing, just talk to Daphne.
Yeah, I don't have any way to facilitate getting up there at this point.
Okay. What if we craft? I'll take this rope. I will throw it over. I will counterweight it on one side, and then you climb up the pillar.
That could work.
Okay? So that'll get you up the pillar. And then, I don't know how thick this glass is, but I've heard you can muffle sound by like surrounding it with cloth. So you can take my cloak and you can wrap it around the glass up top, and like I have a hammer and you can just gently hammer at this glass.
These glass panes are 5 by 5 feet. They're massive. Your coat, not quite that.
Okay, well, like a section. Like a section. Can anyone even wield these items in our group?
The
other than the
sword and
scroll?
the shield, as far as you guys are able to make out, stepping back a little bit, are humanoid sized.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, I don't think the dog could fit through this door. Right? that dog was
They would
pretty
have
big.
to squeeze, but they can definitely get in.
Oh. But we're invisible. And once we grab
For
this,
now.
well, yeah, but if they pop in here, all they're gonna know is something fell over.
I'm sure they can smell us.
It's true. How thick does the glass look from like down here, from this tiny person angle that I got?
thicker than a standard glass of pain that you have seen before. You also see that there seems to be a small locking mechanism kind of facing inward. So if you want to think of kind of like that central path, each one of these cubes on the corners, by the way, are all reinforced with what looks like adamantine as well, and the glass panes are kind of in between that wireframe, or not wireframe, but like frame. And so at the bottom of them, always facing inward on that central pathway, you do see a large lock.
I can always try and pick the lock.
Yeah. Okay. And it just occurred to me that if we need to get you up, I can conjure animal. So I can bring some birds in here. Just out of nowhere, hit me. If we want to lift you up.
Disney princess this shit.
I'm absolutely good Disney Princess Yanni. It just...
I can show you the world.
How good are you, Yanni, at like breaking into locks?
I'm decent.
Okay.
I'm sure they're better.
Well, I'm just wondering if we should, like, if I summon a couple birds, you take these 3 and I take these 3. Pointing to the boxes.
I mean, isn't that gonna mess up your other spell?
If we get the rest that we need, I can make it so that we pass with we leave no trace once again when we leave here. I would have to just recast it.
Okay, but we gotta get past the dog.
With all these items?
Yeah.
I have a backpack. We're fine.
Darian, are you good?
I think we're fine. We figured it out. We're gonna call a couple eagles.
I talked to Daphne and she said, honestly, she's taller than you and it probably would be hard for her to jump that high. So if you need me to fly in there, I will. I also have the bag of holding.
Okay, so funny story. There's a 3-headed dog. I'm gonna come get you.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait. This is a bad idea. Look, let's just do the rope thing, because I don't think the birds are going to be able to hold me still enough.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, a 3-headed dog? What,
Yeah.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine. The dog is sleeping. I'm gonna need you guys to be super quiet in that little area we left you, because we're about to go do some highly covert things right now.
Wait, no, please tell me what you guys are about to do before you do it. Please.
Okay, there's some really cool things here. Okay. Now Elena's talking, it's not Jerry. There's a sword, a shield, I think a helmet. I haven't even looked at the helmet yet. And there's a gauntlet, and there's a scroll, and there's like a diamond.
By the way. It's 2.
Okay,
They're massive.
it's a set of gauntlets. It would pull anyone's outfit together. And then there's a giant gem. Did you say what that
Ruby.
gem was?
A ruby.
Ruby. There's a big ruby. Don't know what that's for, but who wouldn't like a ruby? And then there's a dragon's skull? Right?
Mm-hmm. And
I'm gonna be honest with you.
One of the horns is missing.
And the horn is missing. Does that mean anything to anybody? And I will trail off as I say that.
Dragon skull, probably Balmitria's skull. We kind of already saw that in the picture. I'm gonna be honest with you, half those things sound like things I can't use. So
Okay, so I will get sword and shield, gauntlets, the helmet,
yeah,
potentially.
those 3 things are the things
And the-
that I probably can't use.
But the scroll. We need the scroll could be good.
Let's just
Yanni probably
let's
wants
get as
the
much of it as
scroll.
we can. Let's get
Yes.
as much of it as we can,
Yes.
because we don't know what any of it is.
Okay,
So
give me a second. I'm gonna tell Daphne. Daphne,
Yes.
it's chaos in there.
Isn't-
I don't know what they're doing.
Isn't this a group chat?
Yeah.
I thought it was still like the one link.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like message.
Yeah.
It can be both. I'll let you guys decide on what you guys
Alright.
would prefer.
Well, Daphne and I were already having a private conversation. So I turn off the ring.
Okay.
Daphne.
I'm gonna throw the rope over. I guess start with the sword and the shield. I will throw the rope over, and I will go to the other side, and I will tie the rope around myself and also grab it with my hands.
Alrighty. With that, so I'll say that you guys are succeeding at doing this, but because you have to climb up it, Yanni, I'll have you make me an acrobatics check. Depending on how well you do, you might get a minus to your thieves tool check.
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
21? Hopefully
Easy
that's pretty
peasy. You guys climb up, and as you kind of get up there, I mean, this is like the second story work that you had to do as a kid, and in fact, you kind of get a little memory, and we might have to look into that in future sessions of being back in Aresia as you climb up and scamper up towards that, and you hear Nomad in your mind go, "Oh, are we climbing buildings again? You are back in your element, aren't you, Master?"
A little bit. The good old days.
You scamper over, you kind of push the little thing aside for that, and you immediately realize, indeed, each one of these cubes is reinforced with magic, as there's a little bit of a hint of a shine of ruby dust. Each one of them has been arcane locked. It's not impossible to pick, but it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I can... What do I have? Pretty sure I have that prepped. Yeah, I can try and dispel 3 of them. That would use up all of my 3rd and 4th level spell slots that I have left.
You can see also the helmet. It's just a plain ass helmet. No, you can see the helmet is interesting. It's beautiful. It seems to be just like this pure dull, like it's like truly dark, like zero dark black metal. Like it almost seems to just eat the light, and then you can see inside on the sides are these beautiful, almost slightly glowing sapphires.
It's like a poor man version of Daphne's helmet.
As you can see upon it, the ruby now seems to be actually very interestingly cut. You'd expect most of the rubies to be cut into multifaceted. The more faceted facets, the better. But this one in particular is almost cut into a cubic shape, and you can see 6 sides to it that each have almost like a rune upon it.
Oh.
Finally, you also get a little bit better view at the gauntlets. And you can ignore the words. Listen, this was just inspiration, alright? But they are magnificent. They seem to have dragon scales kind of running across them. But they are titanic. They are like Thylea would be wielding them in size.
Maybe they shrink.
But most of all,
Roll.
most importantly, is that sword before you. It is.
Oh my god! Get the fuck out of here, Minecraft sword!
Diamond sword, okay? Diamond.
That thing's going right in the machine. All right.
It actually looks like an icon from a Super Nintendo era game or something.
Yeah.
It really does.
The best sword you have ever found.
Yanni, you good up there? It's like you're not
Yeah.
heavy, but you're not light either.
They're magically locked, so this is going to take a minute.
Okay. Is there anything I can do?
No,
Okay.
not unless you have a knock spell handy.
No.
I was half expecting her to go knock knock.
I thought about it, but I hold on to this rope.
I guess I'll go ahead and try to pick the lock and see what happens.
Alrighty, go ahead and make your Thieves Tool dexterity check, please.
Yeah, I don't expect this to go great.
And don't forget you have 3 DM inspirations between the 6 of you.
We're not using our stuff for Darian and Yanni.
Wow, 26.
You reach in, Yanni.
Wait, why did it use intelligence? Was it supposed to use intelligence?
It was... No.
If it's
he's
dexterity,
so
it'd be a 20. It'd be -1 if it's dexterity.
25.
So 25.
Just match the DC as you. And you kind of struggle against it, and you can feel how the lock, almost with the magic, tries to like reshift itself, pushing pins down at the same time. You take another tool out, another tool. You hold one with your teeth in as you kind of like renegotiate with the other ones. You have like using 3 fingers at the same time as you kind of like feel the unlock. And with that, the adamantine lock opens.
Whew.
And you see the latch at the front kind of push open.
Well, we've come this far.
You good to get down? Did you get them?
I got the lock open. God, I don't want to be this guy, but I need to make sure that I'm not going to set off any physical traps before I open this.
Sure.
No, please do. Please.
Perception.
Perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm rolling it blind.
Darian whispers to Lyra, "Got it, bitch."
Lyra, take 1d4 dis damage. As
You got 1, bitch.
you look around, and this is just perfectly flat adamantine that it sits upon. It's not even upon a pillow or anything like that. It's just displayed like that, with the sun shining down. You get a very good view of it. In fact, you see no crevices, no hairline wires, nothing like that. And it is then you realize the doors were unlocked. There's the Cerberus, certainly, but nothing else. No pressure plates, no alarm spell as far as you can tell. This motherfucker was so confident, so callous. His vault doesn't have any traps in it.
I'll take it. I'll pull the door open and
As you pull the door open, suddenly lightning comes. No, I'm just kidding. You
lightning. That's too thematic. That's too on the nose.
Fine. Acid starts pouring in from the like, wine starts pouring in from the door.
Oh, not that room again. At least there's no dead goblin under a rock this time.
Oh no. But as you reach in and kind of pull out, you get the hoplon. Kind of attach it and kind of hold it awkwardly and kind of put the sword through your belt and come down, and with that are able to procure the sword and shield.
Whew. I can feel the magic humming on these things.
Yes.
On to the next.
Sure.
All right, to move things along, you guys tell me to which number you guys move. We'll do the same check again with the thieves tool only. Like I'll say with your 21, you just get the hang of it, you're good. But yeah, we'll go down the line. If you guys don't make the DC on something, it becomes broken. So you cannot try again, and you would have to make a lot of noise to get the item that time.
Can we at least use a DM inspiration if we want to?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And as a reminder, the DC is a 25. Do you guys want to just move down the line 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Or do you guys want to prioritize items? Again, we have a in display case number 2, we have a dark helmet that is definitely not Sauron themed, unlike this tower. Number 3, we have a set of gauntlets seemingly made out of dragon scale. 4, we have a big scroll. 5, we have a cubic ruby. 6, we have a skull of a dragon that may or may not belong to the Dragon Balmitria.
I say we just go down the line. The dragon bones don't seem like they would do much for us, so if we have to leave...
They're probably the most powerful thing here, but sure.
Oh, okay, cool. Darian has no idea, and neither does Elena.
How are you going to become Lara Croft at this rate, Darian? Come on.
Well,
right.
How big is that dragon skull, though?
Fucking massive.
Yeah. So...
Yanni might not be able to lift it out of there.
Yeah.
Massive. That's a problem.
Yeah. All right, we move on to number 2, I guess.
All right, go to make your rolls, players.
It's just me rolling thieves tools at this point, right?
Yes. Singular. Uno.
All right. Damn!
Oh my god.
Damn.
I did change it back to Dex if you didn't notice. So
Oh.
Yes, and that was beautiful. You pull out this incredibly sunlight-eating helmet.
all right, cool. Well, on to number 3, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know it's going to fail at some point, so
Yeah.
That's right. Just expect it to. It's fine.
I only need to roll a 16 or better. So 75%
Don't
Okay,
chance.
pressure. It's fine.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit!
Fucking rolling rocks, you know. This is good. This is good shit.
Now's when Yanni starts getting cocky. This is when bad things happen.
Darius goes to Lyra. 3, bitch.
This time it's a 1d6.
I put the ring on mute.
Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, I take it off and just put it in my pocket.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, knew it was gonna happen.
I will give my DM inspiration for this. Darian's like, I want to tell Lyra 4. Just...
All right, here we go.
Oh shit. Ignore that for now. Jesus fucking
Damn!
Christ.
Bring it back, David. Bring that green check back.
God damn it. Damn. Alright. Yanni, interestingly enough, as you pull this one out, you see that the parchment is ancient, but surprisingly well preserved. You can see what looks like 2 wax seals upon it. One is the symbol of the Titans, the eye, and the other one is the symbol of the Dragonlords.
Oh my
Gonna
gosh, is
make
this the original Oath of Peace?
I'll give it to you as a player guest. This is the original writ of the Oath of Peace.
Wow, he kept it like that. Interesting. Okay, on to the next one, I guess. Here we go. Holy
Oh my god. I'm so stressed.
Wow.
this is crazy.
Fucking
I'm
wow.
so stressed.
David's been playing D&D with me for the better part of 3 years. He can tell you this is making up for all of those 3 years, all in one
This is
5-minute.
This is
clip.
you picking the rogue to start out with and then switching to wizard. This moment, this right here is the payoff. Holy shit, my friend. I'm happy.
Yeah, and it was really just a story decision.
Amazing.
Darian's in awe. Like, she's in awe. She's just like, oh my god, Johnny's amazing.
It's just like
It's because Clancy and I are RPing in the background and the dice gods don't want to end it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, before I roll for the skull, once I get up there and see it face to face,
Mhm.
is when I process just how big it is.
Yeah.
Do I feel looking at it like I even stand a chance of getting this thing down without making a massive?
You guys can use a second set of ropes, but I would say you will have to make me an acrobatics check with disadvantage with how awkward the situation is. So you could lift it down, but it might make a ruckus.
Fair. I assume it's too heavy for a mage hand.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can unlock it.
Jesus.
Holy
Oh my
shit!
Fucking
God.
Christ.
Holy
Fucking
shit!
Amazing.
I am
6 out of 7 rolls, 16 or better.
I am
Holy
so sad Alex
shit.
and Jason were here.
Damn.
This
Fucking
is
just a
wild.
moment of fucking amazing work. I am fucking proud of you. Holy fucking shit. That is amazing.
That's
Luke Goblin
really-
strike again! Yes!
All right. Now how are we gonna get this thing out of here?
I have those birds I can call.
screeches. The fucking Cyrus.
What's the carry weight of the Stimfey? We got 2 of them.
I'll tell you what. If you use a Stimfey to stabilize and then still kind of like use the rope to kind of go down, I'll just make it a straight acrobatics check for you.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's not super easy, so I'll set the DC at an 18 for that one.
Okay, 14 or better.
Yanni, what are we gonna do with this skull?
I'm gonna climb in it, and you're gonna carry us all out of here.
Oh, did you see me try to stop that machine?
What's the Pokemon called? I can't think of the name. No.
Oh, the one with the skull head? I don't remember.
Oh,
Cubone?
I'm sure my daughter knows.
That's Yanni running around the place with a fucking dragon skull on.
I mean, I think it'd be more accurate if like Daphne ran around with it at this point if it's Pomni.
Yeah, it's a little morbid though. Imagine just putting your head on the skull of an ancestor, but
yeah, no thanks. I mean, I'm just saying you talked about the Pokemon.
I mean, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty metal. I'll give you that.
Yeah, Ed Gein would be proud. I mean, you should be able to carry it. I certainly would struggle.
well, let's
All
try to
right,
get it out quietly.
Get your Stimfey out.
Get my water.
I should be able to cast Mage Hand to further stabilize without canceling the invisibility, right?
Is Mage
Because it's neither
concentration.
It's not concentration,
Nope,
and
then
it's
you're good.
not cast on somebody. So yeah, I'll pop that out too. I don't expect it to actually mechanically alter anything. It's just what Yanni would do.
Roger.
Just every little perceived advantage he can give himself here. And then you said acrobatics, right?
Yeah, fucking wild. My
All
God.
right.
Oh,
Wow.
that's our
There
karma.
it is.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, there it is. But
That's
I've got
karma.
inspiration. I've got inspiration to use. So
No, our conversation was getting so good.
I still didn't get there, but so much better.
All right. As with that,
Let me furiously type.
suddenly there's a as you guys like gently take the thing, try to get it out. The same face, and they kind of move at the same time. You push the mage hand, and then it pushes a little too much. No, pivot! As they fall over, there's a little crack that appears upon the bone, and suddenly you hear as kind of like a couple of the heads start to kind of like snap and bark at each other. And Daphne and Lyra, before we call it for today's session, what have the two of you been talking about as the loot goblin fucking hard?
Okay. Well, at first, we were just talking about, like, how long do we think it'll be until we have to go in there? What do we think they're doing? And then I made a joke about Darian, and Daphne was like, well, she's part of the group already since you know her tragic backstory. And I was like, that's fair, but I don't know your tragic backstory. So we kind of just started joking about that, and then Daphne told me about how she has an ex-fiance who happened to cheat on her. I asked her if he was boring and she needed something on the side, and she said no, technically he did, and she caught him with another woman and burned down his art studio. And I was like, oh, so you don't hate art, you just hate artists. And we were just kind of talking about that, and then I was relaying the information that Darian was telling me. And Clancy mentioned the map in the middle of the room, and I was like, oh, we should go mess with that.
And that is when
Oh, there was so much more.
There was so much more. There was so much
I
more.
bet.
And Daphne, probably in an attempt to get me to stop from going to mess with the map, was like, is there anything else you want to know about me? Because I was kind of dodgy when I first met you, but you've been kind of nice. And I immediately started crying. And told her she could ask me whatever she wants as well. And so she asked me about what I said when I told her that I had also lost someone that I loved. And so I told her about what happened to my brother the day that he died.
And
then the stuff crashed down.
To quote, Lyra says, there was a rock slide on our trail, and he was underneath it. And I imagine just before Daphne has time to react to this.
Another rock slide. Bone slide. Wait.
PTSD flashbacks right there.
All right, with that, next week we're going to pick it up with a Cerberus Awakens as you guys made away like fucking bandits. Well done, Damon. I'm happy for you. You deserve some good fucking... That was bananas good. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Daphne and Lyra reeling from each other's trauma.
With that, yeah, we will be on again next week. That is going to be on the 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully with the entire staff. Staff, you guys are all employees now. Go fill out those HR forms. But with the entire cast, this is what I was trying to say. So tune in. If you guys haven't already, give us a follow because that'd be awesome. We're almost at 400. We have been teetering right underneath 400 for so long. It is aggravating. So if you guys want to, that would be awesome. Other than that, go vote for Baldur's Gate 3 at the GameAwards.com and make sure that Baldur's Gate 3 gets the Game of the Year award as it absolutely deserves. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.